How can I hear you? I can't hear you.
Oh, it's because I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But we back in the building, man. We back in the building, y'all, man. It's me, NYG22, aka Unpopular Opinion Sports. And I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ed Gladney, man. I'm Coach Ed Gladney. How you feeling tonight, Coach? What's good with you?
I'm good, man. Hanging in there. Just taking it one day at a time. Just ready to have fun and talk sports.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah. We
about
going
the heart of the city, the sports in the heart, the mecca where it's magnified 1 billion%, no matter what sport it is. So
big time facts, man. It goes down in NYC, no doubt. Um, we're gonna get into it tonight. We're gonna get into it tonight, man. I want to talk about, of course, the New York Giants. They got a W. Who knew it could win games?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Getting a dub against the Washington Commandos, condoms, Commodores, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, not so well. Um, Getting a beat down to the Buffalo Bills, not so good. Zach Wilson benched in that game. We're gonna get into that. Um, Knicks, Nets. Knicks on a little bit of a hot streak now. Knicks on a little bit of a hot streak. Nets teetering, up and down. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. New York Yankees rumors, New York Mets rumors. Baseball off season is hot and heavy. We're gonna get into that. Some news, some rumors rolling around, and of course, we got Coach's Corner. I know Coach Ed got something real nice cooking up for y'all today, man. So stay tuned for that, man. But appreciate everybody for stopping through. Appreciate everybody for coming through. If you're new to the channel, or if you're a returning visitor to the channel, please hit that like button, please hit that share button, and please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build up this channel. We're content creators. We're giving you free content. So please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. It don't cost you anything but the click of a button. Appreciate y'all, man. But yo, we in the building, man. I got my regs in the building. We got my regulars, man. What's good with y'all? Wells,
Mm.
what's up, man? Shout out to you,
Peace.
man. What's good? What's good? Peace and love, man. Big fan Breezy in the building. What's good, man? Definitely want to get your
Mm-hmm.
perspective on the Brooklyn Nets here a little bit later. And yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Where you want to go, Coach? Where you want to set it off, man?
Don't
You
matter to
back,
me.
man. You back, man. Yo, let me
Yeah.
talk to me, man. What's good, man? What's on your mind?
Man, it don't matter. Just, we start with the Giants. Let's start with the Giants. That's
Okay, all
always
right, all right,
where,
all right.
that's always where right now seems to be the hot topic. So let's get at it. Let's get at the Giants.
Peace and love, Breezy, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, New York Giants, 31-19 win over the Commanders. Sunday was a very interesting day. You had Tommy DeVito slash Danny DeVito
Chicken
throwing
parm.
chicken parm, throwing three touchdowns over there on the Commanders. Now, interesting thing about this game is that the New York Giants had six turnovers um, on defense, and now
Mm-hmm.
this defense has been coming along slowly but surely. People, like everybody want to focus on the offense, the flash, the pizzazz, the big highlight plays, man. But defense, we always know wins championships, man. And I like to see, I like to look and see how this defense is progressing and how they are developing. This is one side of the football that I can say is actually developing. You got a number of developing players. I'm gonna go through them. Kayvon Thibodeau, two more sacks at 10 and a half right now. You know, he's in the running for the league leader in sacks right now. You have
Mm-hmm.
Bobby
Mm-hmm.
Okereke, coming over from the Indianapolis Colts, doing his thing, taking that leadership role at the linebacker position. And that has rubbed off to Micah McFadden. Micah McFadden, second year player in the NFL, taking his game to the next level under Wink Martindale in his system. Talk about Cordell Fly, slot corner, fly in the slot, getting it done out there. Got ejected in that game, man, but things happen. I ain't gonna hold him for that.
We gonna talk
Also,
about that. We definitely gonna
yeah,
talk about that.
yeah. um, Also, of course, man, you got the big man in the middle, man. Let's not forget him, Mr. Dexter Lawrence, man. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. I think Dexter Lawrence should honestly be getting serious consideration and votes for Defensive Player of the Year. He's playing that well. It don't show up on the stat book, but he is arguably the most valuable player. If we lose Dex, we're done on defense. I'm telling you guys. So those are players that stood out to me. Offense is what it is. We've been talking about it all season. Tommy DeVito did what he did. You know, we seen Saquon Barkley do his thing, of course, and I mean, you got some splash plays from Slayton. You got some couple nice little plays from Wandale Robinson, Bellinger, so on and so forth, man. But it's the defense right now that's got me excited about this New York Giants football team on the field. We could talk about the future and all that right now, but let's just keep it on the field right now, Coach. What
Mm-hmm.
have you been seeing from the defense of the New York Giants? Miz, I see you, bro. What's good? What's good with you, Miz? Appreciate you coming through, man.
All right. Well, number one, Dexter is the sexiest big man in the tri-state area because I'm number one. I'm numero uno, the biggest, the sexiest big man around. So let's get that straight. But let's be serious. All right. Um, when I was able to catch any games, the defense is, it has its moments, but they seem to be grasping number one to Wink's system. They really are grasping to his system, and they're playing with pride out there in that system. Um,
Hmm.
Now, people have talked about, and I'm going to incorporate this into with Dable. There have been people that question, has he lost the team? The team ain't quit on him. You see that. They
Yeah.
haven't quit on each other. You see
Hmm.
that. You just talked about the fight with Flott and everything. You know what's the biggest thing I took about that, away from that? Is those guys were all over there fighting for each other. If you go
Yeah.
back and you look
Yeah.
at it, Dexter running over there, jumping over people to get in there, get his hands on people, Flott, whatever. Dude pushed him in the back. He turned around. Just because he's skinny or whatever, don't mean he's not going to stand up and represent New York and show you that he got fight. He got a fight in him. Even Xavier McKinney, for all everyone has been talking about him. Dude went over there for his brothers.
Yeah.
That right there is telling me Dave's has not lost this locker room. He hasn't, because guys would not be trying to fight for each other. They'll be worrying about, well, I ain't trying to get myself kicked out, lose money because, after the season, I'm going on vacation. I don't want to get myself hurt, have to go through rehab. They are fighting. And that's what this defense is doing. They're flying around. They're making plays as best they can. They're creating turnovers. The way
Yeah.
they're creating the way they created some of those fumbles. You watch Bobby Okereke. He's punching the football
Punching the
out.
ball out. Yeah. No doubt.
That's
I
something
seen
you
that.
go through and you work on in
You teach.
practice.
Yeah.
And number
Hmm.
two, if guys are quitting on the team, they're not going to be out there doing that. They're not. They're just going to go through the motions. Defensively, they're out there trying, and that's the biggest thing. That's all any coach wants from his players is effort. You want effort, whether it's on
Hmm.
offense, defense, or special teams. You want the effort, and they're out there doing that. That's also letting me know the coaches are not quitting on the players. So those players are playing for their coaches. So I love it. The record isn't what we all wanted. I get it. But
Yeah.
this team is not quitting. Period.
Mm.
They're not tanking. They're
Mm.
not tanking as a whole. That idea that they need to tank for a rookie quarterback. I'll say it again. I've been saying it for a while now since I've been back. These guys, that's their job. That's their livelihood. Their resume is what is on film. So whether they're playing for the New York Football Giants, they're trying to stay in the NFL and make that money. They have a certain lifestyle that they're accustomed to. They have families, children in private schools. They need that money. So guys are going to be fighting to stay in the NFL. And if it looks like they're quitting, they're out. So, God, if you think the team is going to tank and all this and that, I'm sorry, you're fooling yourself. Because as I say, if somebody came and took your company over, you have a new CEO, you're not going to half-ass it. Sorry, you're going to button up and tighten up, then you're going to put on your best be on your best behavior and really try hard. Because if not, guess what? You're gone.
Yeah.
Same thing here. So, but getting back to the defense, they're flying around, they're playing hard, they're making plays. Those 6 turnovers, yeah, Sam Howell threw some up. Don't get me wrong, he threw some ducks out there. As we say sometimes, quack quack, go get it. But guess what?
As Pat
They
would
made
say,
the
he's
plays
terrible.
exactly. So, but the thing is, they made the plays on the ball because remember there were a couple that they didn't make a play. Pinnock
Mm.
on that wide open one. Well, guess what? They made the plays on all the other ones. They capitalized. So you have to give them that credit. Whether Washington just threw it up, we still made the
Mm.
plays defensively. So overall, yeah, I'm pleased with the game. I'm not I'm as I think I said it on one other stream. I'm the type of person I hate losing more than I love winning. I'm sorry,
Mm.
that's just the reality. Y'all may not see it. Y'all are not on the sideline. Y'all not in there. When I go back and I look at film and I dissect, what the hell am I doing wrong as a coach to not get these guys to perform at their best? I just hate losing. That's just me. And what I see, a lot of these guys are the same thing. So, but you got it, bro. Go ahead. Oops, sorry. My
Nah, you
damn
good,
phone.
man. That was fire, man. And I'm with you, coach. I don't want this team to lose. I rather than win games, get momentum, build confidence for these players going into next season. It's not going to matter really. Whether you're at number one or you're at number five or you're at number 10 or you're at number 20. You
Mhm.
have to hit on whoever you draft. Whoever you draft, you have to hit. And we're going to get into draft strategies and real heavy into the draft because the draft is the draft is going to be our thing moving forward. We're going to be at every single draft. We have the draft
Mhm.
upcoming in Detroit. And one thing I do want to talk about is draft strategies, because a lot of people think just take the quarterback. Just take the quarterback. I don't care which one it is. Just go get a quarterback. That's how you get fired. That's how you get fired.
Mhm.
When you reach,
Mhm.
that's how you get fired. You take BPA and you match it up with need. That's how you draft. You don't reach. And the Giants need a whole lot of pieces outside of just the quarterback. The quarterback is a need as well. Don't get it twisted. But they do need other pieces as well. And to your point with the defense, man, I'd love to see another edge rush over there, opposite Kayvon Thibodeau. I love it, man.
Mhm.
Let's eat. Let's cook. Let's get back to Giants football. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to rushing the passer. Let's get back to stopping these high powered offenses. You see what Steve Spagnuolo does with the Chiefs when they go up against high powered offenses and great quarterbacks, they shut them down. And they have a damn good quarterback of their own, but people underestimate the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They think it's all Pat Mahomes doing all the work over there. guy got a guy over there named Chris Jones. You seen it last night. Now they lost that game, but to no fault of them. You know what I'm saying? That was just a good game. Crazy game, but good game played by Philadelphia, man. But
Look, well, look,
don't
it's a
get it
good
twisted,
game.
bro.
That was a good game, across the board. But let's be real. If Scan, whatever his name is, catches that
Catches the
pass,
ball. Yeah, I
we're
know.
we're so that's the thing that what teams, yeah, they make both teams make plays, and when the opportunity is there to make the play, you just have to do it. And
Just put it right
sometimes
foot
it's
up.
not. Sometimes it's not the team just beating you. It's
Tommy,
just
what's up? What's up,
you
Tommy?
beating yourself. What's up, Tommy? So, I'm taking that as a joke. I just can't. I just can't with that. Nah. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. So, nah, nah. So,
Sean, crazy about May. Let me tell you something, man. You
okay.
drive Drake May if you want to. I'm a Carolina fan. Never been sold on Carolina quarterbacks since T.J. Yates, since Trubisky, Sam Howell, Drake May. They don't. They all look the same, bro. In college, when they go into the NFL, not saying Drake May's the same quarterback, but I'm just telling you, man, things translate different to the NFL.
I want to
Carolina
say this.
is a very, very talented team on offense. They have really good players. Tez Watkins. They have my man Hampton, the running back. Like they got a team. They're not Drake May and he's doing all the work. You know what I'm saying? And they lean a lot, Mac Brown and them, they lean a lot on the running game. And he's not really playing in a type of offense that's going to translate to the NFL. They're not asking him to do a lot of like reading defenses, dissecting plays, some of it, but not a lot. I'm not sold on Drake May. He has talent. Yes, he has the arm strength, pocket mobility, whatever. But I'm not sold as far as his game, his college game translating to the NFL. I don't know. I'm
I
skeptical.
just I look at the players separately, but I also look at where they come from. And if you really do look at the work, I mean, there's talent there, but quarterbacks in out of Mac Brown's system for some reason don't seem to succeed. Now I'm going all the way back to Texas. I mean, look at Vince
Mm,
Young. Look at Vince Young. Everybody was
yep.
hot on Vince Young, and how did he turn out? So I'm not saying May. I mean, I haven't really seen that much of him. I've seen a couple games, so I'll dive into him a little bit later. But when you look at quarterbacks out of that system, as you just alluded, and you go through the numbers, and we're in an analytics based environment right now. They don't do well. They don't translate to the NFL. It's just, to me, it's just that simple. Now, again, like I said, got to look at him. Maybe you can coach him up, and if that's what it is, okay, fine. If he has all the tools and the skills, okay, that's a different story. But it's going to take some time with a quarterback like him if he has everything, because I don't trust the system. I just don't. That's the
Mm-hmm.
one thing, to translate to the NFL for quarterbacks out of that system based from Mac Brown. So maybe I'm being too hard, but years of experience have told me it's going to be highly unlikely. So, but you got to go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Yeah,
No.
nah. We good. We good. Just want to get into that. One more thing on the Giants. And chat. If you're in the chat, you want to ask questions. Uh, feel free, chop it up with us. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Look, rumors coming out that the Giants are moving on or could be moving on from Mike Kafka and Wink Martindale. So again, I'm for change, but not overdoing it. You know what I mean? I think what Wink Martindale's building with this defense is sustainable. He's got the confidence of the players. They're playing for him. They've been playing for him all season. You know, even
Mm-hmm.
McKinney, he got called McKinney out, whatever. McKinney showed up Sunday, played one of his best games. So that's the kind of leader I want on defense, man. I don't know why the New York Giants would, unless it's something Wink Martindale unless it's on his end, unless he's like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired of it. I don't know why they would move on from Wink Martindale. Now Kafka, a lot of people, defend Mike Kafka. I'm not one of them. Um, I think he is a coach that is developing, but he's not there yet. He might be better suited, maybe going to the college game for a little bit, getting his feet wet, then maybe jumping back into the NFL. But I don't know why they would move on from Wink Martindale, man. You know what I mean? I I'm a little confused. Not confused. I can understand it, like the points and stuff. Like it hasn't been there 100%, but given what the offense is giving this defense, I mean, when you out on the field all game, every game, damn near, because your offense can't score, yeah, it's gonna be tough for you to really make an impact like that on defense, man. But when I watch it on film, coach,
Mm-hmm.
they doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what's going on here, man. What would you do, man? Would you, in your opinion, man, do you think Wink Martindale's done a good job, bad job, average job, and would you move on from him after the season if you was the New York Giants? Real quick, Leaf, what's good with you? What's good? What's popping, bro? Appreciate you coming through. Bookend tackles, man. My G, what's up, bro? Appreciate you coming through, man.
All right. In terms of Wink, no, I'm not moving on from Wink. I'm not. He's a good coach. He really is. The players have bought into him. Someone else, I had the same discussion with someone else in reference to that. I said, first and foremost, remember what Wink has done, what he has done with this system to help bring out Dexter. Because before he got here, we all questioned Dexter. Was
Mm-hmm.
it a good trade for Odell? He wasn't this. They had him playing out of position. And what did Wink do?
Mm-hmm.
They moved him to the right position, the one tech, the zero tech, where right over the center, which is
Mm-hmm.
where he's causing so much havoc, and it really accentuates his ability to push the pocket. So he's done that. Look at the player Bobby Okereke. Look at McFadden.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go through and we can talk about last year until McKinney got hurt. He was damn near playing at an all-star level. He really was, or he was trending that way. Let me put it that way. The point I'm making is he's a good coach. His system, he has the player, or they're adding more and more players to fit him because of his system. So no, it doesn't make sense to me to get rid of him, because if you do that, then you know what, you really have to scrap the whole system.
Yeah.
And then
Gotta
how
start
does
over.
that fit the players, certain players, or your key players? And you bring another coach in now. If you say, "Oh, we're bringing another coach to run the same thing," well, then why get rid of Wink Martindale? That's his system. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that. Kafka, I said it before. If Daves is going to be calling the plays, then you might as well just fire him. So, and if you're going to do that, fine. I'm not one for what's his name who just got fired from Buffalo. Sorry, I
Ken
just don't.
Dorsey.
Yeah, I'm not for it.
Well, why
If
not?
you're
Why
going,
not Ken Dorsey? That's curious. Why you out on Dorsey?
okay, first and foremost, he was an OC in Buffalo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they fired him, right? And then as soon as they
Mm-hmm.
fired him, look what the defense just did. I mean, that offense did. So it's obvious the issue was Ken Dorsey. Maybe he just wasn't ready for
He
that
did have
type of.
him like 7th in points. I mean, it was like
But
they was doing
you went up
decent.
against the Jets defense. The Jets defense, we all know, is definitely one of the top defense, and for some reason, they played a whole lot better. Now, if you're
Division game
saying,
too, though. You know what I'm saying, Coach?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair, that's fair, that's fair, but it's still the
And they
Jets
played them
defense.
before in the season, so you know they
But
was
they
able to make
always
those
play,
adjustments.
but they always play each other tough. They blew
Yeah.
out the Jets. Now, you want to talk about the Jets offense? That's a different story.
They should
But
have
what did
blew out the
they?
Jets. They should have blew out
They
the
put up
Giants too. But
offensively. They put. I'm not
mm,
counting the safety. They put up what 29 points on their defense.
mm,
That's saying something. That's my point. So it's an indictment towards Ken Dorsey that something he was doing wrong. Maybe he's just not ready to be an OC. If you're saying bring him in as an assistant and let him sit under Dable and learn a little bit more, and Dable allow him to call plays at certain point in time, certain series during the course of a game, but for the most part, Dave's is calling the game. Then I'm cool with that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I don't want to bring him here to call plays. I think at this point, Brian Dable is gonna have to whatever he does next year, he's gonna have to take. I feel like he's gonna have to take control of this offense completely because that's what he was brought here. I understand he was brought here to be a coach, but the reason they shouted him out was because his offensive ability in Buffalo, and he's gotten here, and this Giants offense this season is the worst in the NFL at this current moment. So yeah, dude, get control of your offense. Defense is doing their
Sorry.
job, in my opinion, for the most part. Not they're not perfect, obviously, but they're getting it done. You need to step up with this offense. Now they look better, they look good in spurts, but I feel like Dable is gonna have to take control of that side of the football,
That's fair.
and kind of put his stamp on that.
I don't have an issue with that in that regard. It's just that, like I said, with Dorsey, I'm just not. I to be honest with you, I'd rather stay with Kafka if that's the case. I mean, I'm just going to be brutally honest. Right now, my mindset is, kind of like what you're alluding to. Dave, take control of your offense, you build it up, and then, when it's right, whoever you have under your wing, slowly guide them and bring them up, but you still have the ability to still jump in and do what you need to do with the offense. So, you know, it.
What you feel about them promoting the quarterbacks coach Tyranny?
As just in terms of the name of being the offensive coordinator, fine, because the
Somebody,
OC
yeah.
during the week, the OC still has to look at film, break it down, develop the game plan. You're going to talk with Dave's about it and get his input, but you're still going to develop the
Mm-hmm.
game plan, set everything up, the scripting, all of that. So that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. If you want to do it in that regard, but if you're going to elevate him to call plays from time to time, no. You're better off right now with Kafka. Let Daves jump in at times, and that's perfectly fine. Then after the season, you let Kafka go. And if you want to elevate him, and you let him call plays at certain points of time, fine. I have no issues with that. But for the most part, like you said, Daves, get control of the offense. You have to do it.
Yeah,
you know,
big time
and
facts.
by then next year he'll be in his third year. So now he will be able to, call plays and still be the head coach. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you're a new head coach, especially your first time, I tend to want you to, get work with everyone.
Focus on the
Don't
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
more
and then
so.
when you want to go to play calling, if you need to, then you go back down. But if not,
I think
because
that was Pat Shermer's kind of downfall a little bit. He was calling the
but he
plays.
was in,
Remember,
but he was an
he
experienced
wasn't.
head coach, so he was different. That's what I'm saying, because remember he was the head coach at Cleveland, so I'm saying as a brand new first time head coach in the NFL, my personal opinion is don't be a play
McAdoo did it
caller.
too, though. Remember, he was a first
Yes,
time head coach. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So and then ultimately, so what happened, but you'll hit on some. I mean, hey, they're coaches who, first time they as a head coach they call plays and they do well. I'm not saying it doesn't work for everyone or someone, but my preference Just like when I became a head coach, I've been a coordinator, but I had to take the hands off to develop and let guys,
Mm.
grow and also be able to manage the team. Because you have to work with all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. So, but that's me. That's my preference. So,
Mm. Yeah, nah, no doubt, no doubt, man. Good shit, coach. Good shit. We're gonna keep it moving tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a rapid show. Let's get into the Jets. Let's get into the Jets. Now,
Jets, 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 Jets.
oh my god, man. New York Jets crapped the bed. What was the score, man? 32-6
2-6 here.
and against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Zach Wilson got benched in that game.
Mm,
Rightfully so. He was
mm.
terrible, man. 715, 81 yards, one touchdown, one interception. And they put in Tim Boyle.
Well,
Ball.
yeah, Bo, whatever his name is, and
I mean,
he's no better.
I thought the Giants quarterback situation was bad.
You know what? I was watching Michael K today because
What?
they were that was one of the things they were talking about, and because there are people who talk about firing what's his name as the head coach, and
Solid, yeah.
yeah, and Michael K went in, and his thing was, well, why are you benching Wilson? It makes no sense because the guy backing him up is worse than him, and then the guy who's behind him is even worse than those two. So you sold your soul to the devil going all in on Aaron Rodgers.
And we knew that.
So
We knew that.
you're putting Wilson, and you're saying you're blaming Wilson, which we know the quarterback get most of the glory and most of the blame. But you're putting him in that situation. You don't have a good offensive line. Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
And they're even saying his skill position guys, other than Garrett Wilson and maybe Brees Hall, they really don't have anything to really talk about in terms of their
Alan
skill position.
Lazard is butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? What's the other guy? Randall Cobb. Like they
You
got
don't
some
hear about him at all. You
whack.
traded guys out,
Yep.
who didn't want to
Got
be
Barrio.
here,
Got
but
rid of Barrios. You know what I'm saying?
look what he's doing with the Dolphins.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And we
So,
talked about him. Remember, we had talked about
mm-hmm.
him, man. Me, you, and Jeffy. You know,
Yep.
Jeffy was one that brought up Braxton Barrios, how he could be an option for the Giants in the kick return game, but you know, just let him go. They got what's the other cat out of there? Oh, it's not Corey Davis. What's the other
Oh, the one
cat?
they traded, is it
Yeah,
Moore? His last name
yeah,
Moore?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Moore, yeah, Elijah Moore. They got him out of there. It's just it's a shit show, man. You know,
I'm
now you
sorry.
got Wilson
The
as the third stringer now.
Yeah, and that's my point. It's like, you're looking at it and you're like, you know, I'm not saying Zach Wilson is good. Though do not say I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is their whole offense is terrible. So how can you just blame him when, your offensive line is terrible? I mean, you got whatchamacallit, um Makai Becton always in and out, going in and out with injuries.
Yeah.
It's like, you have no consistency. I mean, Mitchell, I did a break on him for Luca, and I'm like, yo, the guy is atrocious. He really is. Like we talk about Pert and Neal. This guy is knowing he can't even wipe their butts. That's how bad he is.
God, dog.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. The dude is just that terrible, man. So and I'm talking about Matt Pert too. Pert is 1,000 times better than this dude. I'm
Purr is
sorry. It's
awful,
just
man. Purr
that's
is
my point.
awful.
So the Jets, they needed to rely a lot more on the running game, but it is what we have to get Kafka out of there. Bobby, Jay, I'm not sure why Dorsey isn't there calling plays already. It's the OC, O-line coach that ruined the season. You know what? We just talked about the OC, but let me talk about the O-line and the O-line coach. Okay.
Mm.
And I ask people this all the time. Do you feel that with the talent that we have on the offensive line, that is good enough to have this offense up being a lot better? If you're telling me the offensive line is just not being coached up, then fine. Bobby Johnson should be gone. Be gone. But if we're saying the talent on the offensive line shouldn't be in the NFL, how is that the offensive line's coach? How is
The
that his
GM's
fault?
fault. Yeah.
Exactly. It's the GM in terms of the talent. It's your scouts. What are they doing to identify the talent? So go through. I mean, we're not going to talk about Andrew Thomas, but Azudu, is Azudu good? Is Azudu good? Lemieux, Bredesen, um, um, what's his name? Who we got from the Colts? Glowinski, Chicken Legs, who I
Lewinsky.
call.
Yeah.
We talk
McKeithen.
about Evan Neal, McKeithen. But again, now I just went through all these guys. If we're saying all these guys are bad, then why is it Bobby Johnson's fault that the line is bad? Now, if you're telling me that the guys are just not being coached up, you can probably see a little bit more because, for one, like I say, Evan Neal, I believe Evan Neal is a good tackle. There's just some things that has to work on to improve his game, which is why I say Bobby Johnson probably is the issue with the offensive line. I've said with Azudu and McKeithen coming out of North Carolina, I thought they were better,
Mm-hmm.
but so there we go. There you go, Tommy. That's my opinion. But getting back to the Jets, you know, their issue is the offensive line, man. I mean, more than anything, it's the
Mm-hmm.
offensive line. Your quarterbacks can't do any damn thing. So and
Yeah.
you also got some bad quarterbacks. So kind of molds everything together. I mean, they're just bad all around because that was the other thing that Michael K was basically alluding to. They're wanting to fire the head coach, but what about the general manager who's getting all the talent, who's been there for years? So
Yeah. What's his name?
Douglas,
Douglas, right?
Douglas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He's
So
had some pretty decent picks though. I mean, he's had some misses, obviously with the quarterbacks, but pretty
but
big
hey,
misses.
the quarterback is the most important position. You can't win without the quarterback. Everything else, the quarterback will make the offensive line better. He'll make the
Mm-hmm.
play all his offensive players. He'll make the defense better. Okay, one player
Yeah.
will do that for the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
It's working
but
out, isn't it?
getting back to Douglas,
Working
yeah,
out for the Chargers, working out for the Bengals. It's working out. Them quarterbacks, right? Your top guys, QBs are looking like you know what. But with old NYG, when he bring up the fact that hey, you can get the fifth, you can draft the fifth quarterback in the draft and he be the best quarterback. Look at Lamar Jackson. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to talk about what you can do instead of reaching. Draft
Mhm.
strategies, man. Draft strategies. You don't just go and just get the player that the media says is the best player. The media is driving players up for ratings. These players have deals with ESPN and Nike and ABC and NBC and stuff like that. They're driving those players up for ratings. This is a business. So doesn't translate onto the football field just because Tim Tebow or Johnny Manziel is the most hyped player. It doesn't necessarily translate into the NFL. Now those guys are freaking analysts now talking about football.
Mhm.
They out of the league. So look, man. Caleb Williams, Drake May, hyped up guys. They have talent. They will be good if put in the right situation, I do believe. but every quarterback doesn't get the luxury of going to the right situation. You know, 3 out of these 5 guys are probably going to go to a effed up situation and probably, unfortunately, not succeed. So
Mm,
pick the right quarterback for your franchise. That's very important. Very important. And
mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm,
extra important in New York because of the media, because of the attention that's focused on these teams, it's particularly the Giants. So just saying. You know what I mean? Think about it.
mm-hmm,
For you run to the
mm-hmm.
podium, give me Caleb Williams. And then Caleb Williams gets out here in this offensive line. He throws 25 interceptions in his first season. You be ready to kick him out the door. Fucking Caleb Williams, he stinks, man. All he does is throw interceptions. He fumbles all the time. Same thing you're saying about Daniel Jones. Stop playing with me. But anyway, moving along.
Mm-hmm.
um, let's get into a little bit of basketball, man. I ain't talked a lot of basketball here recently. Um, got the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets are off now. Looking at the NBA standings here, Nets 6-7. They are coming off a bad loss to the Sixers. But the Nets have been playing up and down basketball. They've had some injury issues. In the beginning of the season, you had Cam Johnson out. Now you got Cam Thomas out. You know, Nick Claxton has missed some games, but important stretch of games coming up here for the Brooklyn Nets. Let's see here. They got the Hawks, they got the Heat, they got the Bulls, they got the Raptors, Hornets, and Magic. And the reason those are all important games because they're all conference games. And in the NBA, you want to win those games within your conference. Now, on the court, of course, Ben Simmons not available. What's new? What is new? I am so sick of Ben Simmons. I mean, you talk about a player that just gives you shit.
Mm,
And then when he's out there, I mean, I get his passing ability and his basketball IQ, but man, damn all that. I can go out there and pass the ball. I got a basketball IQ. Dude, we need you to be a ball player. Go score some points. Go block some shots. Go get some rebounds. You know, like, it doesn't give you anything out there, man. And the Nets suffer because of that, man. Because if you could trade Ben Simmons and get something of value in that position and in that spot, you know, we playing this dude. They got this dude playing center, point, forward, like all over the place. And he ain't good at any of it. Like, you know, the Nets have been much better, you know, outside of last game with Nick Claxton back in the lineup, you know, at center. You know,
mm-hmm,
at least he's
mm-hmm.
a rim protector, you know, shot blocker, you know. So Ben Simmons in there, nah, man. Defense ain't that good, in my opinion. But like I said, stretch of games coming up here for this Brooklyn Nets team is going to be very important, and it's going to, I feel like, kind of put them, you know, in position, you know, for that back half playoff positioning in the Eastern Conference, man, because you want to beat those teams. Those are going to be the teams that's going to be that you're going to be playing against as far as playoff positioning, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying it like that because if we looking at the Eastern Conference standings here, let me pull up the basketball standings here in a minute. So yeah, you have the Nets at 10th right now, and behind them are Well, the Hawks are right above them. You know, you got the Magic above them as well in fifth. Orlando's doing well this year.
Mm.
Um, and you got the Raptors, the Bulls behind them, the Hornets, the Wizards. Yeah, so them back half teams, you can really knock them down. Um, with this little streak that they got, with the streak of games that they got coming up here. Once again, that's Atlanta, Miami, Chicago, Toronto, Charlotte, and Orlando. Then they hit the road, West Coast trip. So, but important stretch starts tomorrow, and really, the Brooklyn Nets, as I said before the season started, they should be in that contention, you know, for that 6 to 8 spot in the
Hmm.
Eastern Conference, and that's right where they are right now. Right now, at 10th, but they had a difficult schedule starting off. You know what I'm saying? They've been dealing with some injuries, so you know if they could start getting healthy. I think Cam Thomas is on his way back, which would be a huge, huge
Hmm.
boost. You know, especially on the offensive end, if he can get back into the lineup. I do think the Nets can go on a little bit of a streak here and go on a little bit of run and, you know, put some distance between themselves and some of those back end teams, as I just mentioned. But any thoughts on the Nets, coach? I know that's not your team, but, you
I
know.
mean, I have been surprised in terms of your boy being in and out of the lineup. And him just his abilities. I mean, I did think him being a playmaker and being 6'10" would really help out a little bit more. But you were right. You were right. You're right. I mean, but I mean, right now it's a situation of if you didn't have him, then you would probably still have James Harden. So, you know, is this the lesser of two evils?
Yeah, I guess.
So it's kind of hard. I get it. So, but again,
At least
also, I
Ben
mean,
Simmons has an excuse because he's not out there. So when
and that
James
was
Harden's
that,
out there and he stinks.
but that
He
was
doesn't
my other point
stink, but you know
with
he's
the
a headache. He's a
Nets.
problem. Yeah.
You talked about it with a lot of the injuries. So for them to be right where they are when you have when you have a lot of injuries, especially to key players, you know, could you probably change two or three of those wins? There is that possibility.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
They
think they're
been right
that.
there. They was right there
Yeah,
with Cleveland. They was right there with Miami. I remember that game. But they
sent
beat
you.
Miami. They was right there with Milwaukee.
I think I
Yeah.
sent you the whatchamacallit too about that too.
Oh
The
yeah.
power rankings from the Athletic, and they have the Nets in a tier 5, considering them looking to make the play in terms of um,
Mm-hmm.
and this is they're in a group tier 5, and that's both East and West, and their ranking is like number 16 in terms of
Okay.
their power ranking. So
Okay.
it's they're what I'm getting at is they're not too far off from being a playoff contending team. Are they a championship caliber team? No, 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 no. I'm not saying that, but
No,
if you get, like you
not
just
yet.
alluded to, they're injured players. They get them back. Losing Cam Thomas, I think, is a big hit. Because he just seemed to be. I don't know. Whenever I saw him and he was playing, that offensive spark just
He
was.
was
I was
on
like,
fire
wow.
though.
Yeah. So it's going to take some time when he gets back to get back in that rhythm. So
Yeah.
but they're right there, and it's not
Yeah.
hard in the East. I mean, I'm
Cam
serious.
Thomas is averaging 27 a game.
That speaks volumes in the NBA. That's a lot
Yeah.
of points. So so when you get him back, and
Leading scorer.
Claxton, and even Simmons, for whatever you can get from him, what I'm saying is that will help boost them up a little bit more. So.
Yeah. Well, Simmons is the leading rebounder right now, but Claxton has been out of the lineup. He's only played 5 games to Simmons 6. So they've been kind of like swapping out. So, but give me Clax, man. Give me the Clax attack, man.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
keep Simmons' ass on the bench, man. I ain't with that. Word.
Shit.
Neymar says, "Yo, are the Bills gonna beat the Eagles?" I fucking hope so. You know how we get down over here, man. We don't like them stinking Eagles. You know what I'm saying? This is Jay. What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you popping through, bro. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Um, but yeah, man. Now, what I do want the Nets to do, you know what I'm saying, is give this guy like I'm liking what I'm seeing from Day'Ron Sharp. Day'Ron Sharp has had he's played in 13 games, about 6.6 rebounds, man, but he's been a big boost coming off the bench for this Brooklyn Nets team, man. The Nets, the thing about the Nets that people don't understand, they're pretty a deep team, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like when we bring in our subs, you know, we still get some production. Now that is a big component of that is Lonnie Walker the fourth. Lonnie Walker the fourth has been doing his thing, bro. I'm telling you, this kid coming off the bench, man. I mean, he's been lighting it up. You know, he's been that spark that we missed from Cam Thomas. That's why the Nets have been able to stay afloat. Now, when you put them all together, if you can get them all together at once, because remember, the first part of the season we missed Cam Johnson and Claxton, and then now we missing Simmons and Cam Thomas. So if you can get them all back and you can get them all meshing and gelling together, I do think this can be a 6 to 8 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's word up. Jay, a couple comments here from Jay says, "Win. That's what we need to do. The Nets need to do. Facts, bro. Big time facts, man." Shout out to Day Day with the payday. Yeah, man. Day'Ron Sharp, man. That's what he's talking about, man. I'm telling you, I think this kid he can do some things. You know what I'm saying? He still has to grow. You know, he still has to grow, much like Claxton had to do. You know, but give him a shot. Give him a shot, man. Let's see what he can do, man. You know, and he's been stepping up this season, man. I like what I'm seeing from him, from Cam Thomas, and a couple of these young guys. You know, I would love to see Nets first round pick Dariq Whitehead get on the court at some point this season. But you know, still a lot of season left. You know, we just getting rolling here in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, gotta use the depth. I mean, yeah, gotta use the depth. Nimar says, "Do you see the Knicks win the next couple games?" Let's get into the Knicks. I've watched. Here's what I see with the Knicks right now. And I watched the game. I think they was playing. Who was they playing? Was it the Hornets?
Saturday.
They play.
They played Saturday. They beat the Hornets.
I think it was the Hornets, man.
And it was the Wizard before that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was the Hornets. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Mitchell Robinson is a monster. That dude on the offensive glass is ridiculous. You know, and to be honest with you, him out there makes that Knicks defense so much better. So much better. When he goes off the court, they look like a totally different team. And I said it last year, and I'm saying it this year. The Knicks need Mitch Robinson. He is one of the key components to that team really getting it going here. You know what I'm saying? Now, but this Knicks team, man, coach, what have you seen from right now? Knicks 8-6, 7th in the Eastern Conference. and basically, like you said, they beat the Hornets. Um, I think I watched them. Yeah, when they played the Spurs, they was lighting them
Yeah, I
up.
saw that game. I saw that game.
Jalen Brunson has been a beast. He's ridiculous, shooting 44% from the field, averaging 24 points a game. Look, man, again, Knicks, Nets, they right there with each other. You know what I'm saying? Some people say the Knicks are better. That's a debate that Breezy and them have on their show. Shout out to Who Run the City. But I'm saying that for all the Nets so-called lack of talent, or them not having the big names or the big stars or whatever, they kind of right there together. They kind of right there together, and the Knicks still looking for that, I guess, piece to take them over the top. Still looking for that piece. RJ Barrett, I don't know. Crickets. What have you seen out of RJ Barrett?
When he was in, when I saw whenever I get a chance to see them, when I do see him
Is
and
he
he's in
hurt
there,
now?
he's back. He just came back against
Okay.
the Timberwolves. So, and he has to get back into the rhythm. He was fine before that, but the whole issue
Mm,
with the Knicks for this season to start was Julius Randle. Julius St. Randle did not have a good start of the season. Now he's swung. It's changed. He's starting to average his double doubles, and he's being
mm-hmm.
very productive. When I have seen him, he's not getting on the officials in the course of a play. He waits to a timeout, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. And then go talk to the officials, not during the course of a play. So he's out there. He's producing. He seems to be
Mm-hmm.
getting better. His 3-point shooting is getting better. So if you can get the RJ Barrett that started the season, which was I think he was averaging like over 24 points a game. If you get three
Mm-hmm.
20-point guys or with this team, and then what's his name, Dante
DiVincenzo.
Durant DiVincenzo
Mm-hmm.
seems to have been playing very well. He just had the other day when he started. I think he had like 19 points. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I Quentin Grimes is that kind of enigma for me right now because for some reason he's just even when Julius wasn't there, he's just up and down, up and down. So
It seemed like he doesn't give you guys a whole lot. When I
no,
watch the Knicks, he's not giving you that production on the offensive end. He's plays good defense, but
yeah,
just not enough on the offensive end. You need more. You know what I
but
mean?
he's skilled on the offensive end. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. It's just not translating to the
So I'm
NBA.
looking at it
So
now. Last game against the Timberwolves, he was 0 for 6. 0 for 6 from
exactly.
threes, all 3-pointers too. You can't do that. 0 for
And that, and,
6.
and that's the thing with him that is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I was saying it's Julius, and it just whenever Julius didn't play, he just seemed to be better. But when Julius was out, he wasn't. I mean, I checked the stats, I see what's going on. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
producing. So is it time to let him go and see what you can get in a package? So but again, I don't want to strip the cupboard also. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. It just seems like everyone talks about, oh, the Knicks are in a trade, you're going to give up all this and that quickly because of his contract. You might not be able to afford him after the season because you're probably going to have to give him 20 mil, a minimum of 20 mil. We'll see. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. But when I have seen them, they're like you said, they're that kind of enigma. They're in the playoffs. The Atlantic has them 10th in the power rankings, but it's not like they're that far off. I mean, I just took a look at where they stood on CBS Sports. Yeah, they're in that 6, 7 spot right there with, they right there with Indiana, with
Mm-hmm.
Miami. Orlando seems to be playing well. That everyone seems to be surprised about. But I said it at the beginning of the season on the Pick and Roll podcast. Don't be surprised about Orlando.
No, you didn't.
So, so the Knicks are right there in that grouping. It's still a long way to go, but they do seem to have some talent. The one thing that scares me is who
Mm.
is really backing up Julius Randle, because we don't have a power forward behind him. We don't.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Obi Toppin, but
Obi is gone, so
he's
you're
gone. Yep,
relating
he's
on
out of
Josh
there.
Hart. You want Josh Hart to back him up, but you also have him starting at times at the guard spot. So it's like, if you do that, who is backing up Julius? What are you doing? I mean, I get the small ball lineup, but come playoff time, you're going to get killed.
Yeah,
You know, so but what I notice about them is when they play the top teams, they the
yeah,
bottom line is they lose out.
they
But
fold. Yep.
you'll beat teams that are on your level or teams that are underneath you. So that tells me, basically they're not there. You really
Let's
do
do the
need
same
a.
thing. We got whopped by Philadelphia. We lost to Boston. Same lost to Milwaukee. Same situation. You not there. We could say that about the football teams too. Top
So,
teams come in. Hey, whoop.
but
You
that's
get
the
put in your
thing
place real quick.
you just spoke about Mitchell Robinson. I mean, everything that I've read has alluded to the same thing, that he's killing it as an offensive rebounder. He's just so big in that middle. I'm fine with our center position, even with Hartenstein. Hartenstein is
Mm,
fine behind a different type of play, but I like it. With the two dynamics, so I'm
mm,
fine with that. But it's when it comes playoff time, when you're in a series, how is that going to play
mm.
out? I mean, if you got
Right.
to play Cleveland again in a series, I mean, right there alone in Jared Allen and Mobley, that right there is, what are you going to do? How do you adjust to that, to play in
Tough.
a playoff? That's tough, and you can't
Mm,
expect Julius Randle to go every damn game in the playoffs with the majority of the minutes. You just can't.
mm-mm.
So it's just, what, whatever's going to happen. Let me see what's going to happen close to the trade deadline. Are they going to do something? Are they going to play out the season? And the Knicks are just going to continue to stay right there in the middle of a pack, talking
Go
about,
get
oh, we're going to get,
Zach Levine.
for what? For what? Number one, he don't play no damn defense.
At all.
Now you want to talk about scoring, okay, but he's also the type of scorer, leave the ball in his hands and everybody else stands around.
Yep.
If he's
ISO
not
ball.
working with DeMar DeRozan, what do you think he's going to do over here? No, no. Personally speaking, no. I don't like the thought of Zach Levine, and you got to give up too much to get him. You just
Yeah.
do. It
Same
makes
here.
no sense to me. No, So yeah, right now the Knicks are in that quandary where they say they want a superstar. They're holding on to their draft picks to get that superstar, but is it the right superstar to fit? Period. Case closed.
Yeah, man.
That's really what it boils down to for
Big
me.
facts. Big facts. Nimar says we lost Timberwolves. Do you guys think that will hurt us? Nah, I don't think it'll hurt you guys.
Okay, well.
Timberwolves are a good team. They're in the top half of the Western Conference. So now you asked a question about the Knicks next couple of games. So I'll go through those with you guys real quick.
They got Miami on Friday.
Miami, yep. Phoenix on Sunday. That's gonna be a tough one. These are home games though, so you have that advantage. Charlotte and Detroit. Those are the next four at home, and then you hit the you have a home and away split with Toronto, um, and then you hit the road for your West Coast trip. And then
See, with those games, if you look at it, you would say Miami's going to be is the tough one. Same thing with the Suns. But the
mm-hmm.
other ones, if they play to their potential, they
You
should
should
win
beat
those.
Charlotte. You should beat Detroit. Definitely should beat
Yeah,
Detroit, and you
could.
can beat Toronto as well. I mean,
Exactly. So, you say 4-2 in those. For me, it's no. Number one, you have to get Miami. I'm sorry, you have to get
Mm,
Miami. There's no if and because it's a conference. And
Yeah.
that comes into playoffs later on. I
That's the
get
team that's
Phoenix.
right there fighting with you. Miami is 9-5. So if you can take care of
Exactly.
Miami, you know what I mean? Yeah, you win there.
You put yourself in a good position to be in there. That's the Atlantic has them on the third tier. I agree. They're on that third tier, fighting for the second tier. But they're not a championship contender. That's just the bottom line. And I don't know what superstar that you could get to fit in with Tibbs to really change the narrative with this team. This team is what it's going to be. They're going to be that little sluggish, grinded team. They're going to play. They supposedly are supposed to play good defense, but I still have doubts about that.
It's up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when you go up against the top teams, especially in the playoffs, the Philadelphia's, the Boston, the Milwaukee, expect to get totally annihilated. If you're playing a 7-game series, it'll be probably 4-1. And it wouldn't even surprise me, to be honest, if it was a 4-0. I'll be totally
Mm.
honest with you, because the Knicks are just not there. They're not, so, and with all your assets that you have, everything that they have there, they don't have anything on the team other than Jalen Brunson, maybe Julius Randle when he's playing his top game. RJ Barrett is, quickly, is he's another up and down player. He's dynamic coming off the bench, but you
Yeah.
can shut him down. You know, I mean, DiVincenzo, okay. I mean, yeah, he could shoot some threes and this or that, but you know, does he really give you that cachet? I mean, what is it with the
Right.
Knicks? With, I just, hey, they're a good team.
Yeah.
So they're not there. They're not. As what Stephen A. will say, they're not scrubs. So but then again, they're that's really what they
Yeah.
are.
Meh, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about what the Nets are.
Interior.
And that's about where we at with the basketball, man. As far as hockey is concerned, the one thing that I can say is the Rangers are kicking ass. The
Okay.
Rangers right now they have 25 points. They are 12-3 with uh 12-3-1. That one being the overtime. The points are different in hockey, but that's the overtime loss. You get a point for losing in overtime, and I think you get 2 points for winning in overtime or something like that. But anyway,
Mm.
they're second. They're second in the conference right now, behind Boston. Unfortunately, you got the Devils. They're coming in at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th, and the Islanders are right behind them at 12 and 12th, both with 17 points. Rangers did have, I seen the other day, they had a big one over the Devils. What game was that? Uh,
So right behind the,
right over the
they're
Devils.
right
Yeah,
behind the Brunt. They're right
five
behind the
three.
Bruins.
Yeah, they
Okay.
had the big one over the Devils, 5-3, the other day. So look, man, um, Rangers are a team that usually when New York needs somebody to step up, it's usually the New York Rangers. And I always go back to that '94 season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Knicks couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get it done. I want to say the Yankees was in there that year. Oh
What year?
no, it
What
was the
year was that?
Rangers. It was the Rangers and the Devils. The '94. The Knicks were in the championship, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the Yankees and were in the playoffs. I don't think they was in the World
Yeah,
Series that year.
They didn't start until after '96.
'96, yeah. So, um, you need a team to get it done, man. It's always the Rangers, man. So shout out to my New York Rangers, man. Just want to show my hockey people some love, my hockey team some love, man. This is Heart of the City. Unfortunately, I don't follow hockey too much, but enough to know that my squad is doing a damn thing. um,
What's up,
but
Taj?
Taj, what's good? What's good, Brody? What's up, bro? Um, Now with this Yankees team, Yankees and Mets, we'll just lump them together. Rumors, man, just it's just the baseball rumors. You know, you got Juan Soto. They're talking about Juan Soto. They're talking about this. Shout out to
Japanese
Big
pitcher.
Blue in the Bronx. Yeah. Uh. Shit. Yayamoto.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Yayamoto.
Let me see if I can find it.
How do you pronounce this guy's name, man? is is Yayamoto? Let's see. Yoshinobu Yayamoto. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yoshinobu
Yoshinobu
Yamamoto. Yeah,
Yayamoto. Yeah.
Yamamoto.
hmm
Yamamoto.
But
Yamamoto. Yeah, Yamamoto. And let me see.
he's the hot name right now in baseball. And like I said, shout out to Alex, Big Blue in the Bronx. He did a pretty good video over him, video on him saying, you know, this guy can be that second ace to Garrett Cole. You know, that'll give us that 1-2 punch in baseball that we looking for. You know, I'm not looking for Carlos Rodon to do that. Damn sure, you know, Severino's gone, and Nestor Cortez. I mean, he's your fifth start at best. You know, Clark Smith, get him out of here. Don't like him. Um, if they can get Yayamoto and bring back Jordan Montgomery, remember they traded Jordan Montgomery. He just was with the what was it the
Cardinals.
Rangers?
Oh, the
Was it
Rangers.
the
Okay.
Texas Rangers? They was in the World Series, yeah.
Rangers.
Mm-hmm. So if you can get them two back, we might have something cooking, you know.
You should.
And
I
I'm
mean,
big on in baseball, like with pitching, the pitching. You know, because to me, if you have a shutout pitcher, you can shut down that other team. You know,
mhm.
it makes your offense, it puts, you know what I'm saying, less stress on your offense to score a bunch of runs. The Yankees have not been the Bronx Bombers in recent years. You know, they're a big swing and miss team. A lot of high strikeout guys, you know, Stanton, Judge, you know, Rizzo, so on and so forth. You know, so let's start leaning back on our pitching, man. Let's get back to the days where we had Clemens, we had Pettit, we had David Cone, David Wells, you know, Rivera in the bullpen. You know what I mean? So let's get back to those days as a Yankee fan. So I am all for if they can go get Yayamoto. The thing is though, the money. As Dash would say, where is the bread coming from? You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
because you
Mhm.
already got three guys that you paying over 300 million. That's Judge, Stanton, and Cole. So, you know, I think Alex said that Yayamoto it would be like 25, 27 mil a season. So you got to pony up some cash to get him, and you bring in him and then Jordan Montgomery. You have to give him some money too. And then they talking about Juan Soto. You know, just give me the pitchers, man. Just stack this pitching staff because what I'm looking around baseball, man, is the pitching is what wins you championships. It's like football defense
Mhm.
wins you championships. You know, pitching is a part of defense in baseball, so that's what's going to win you championships. Yeah, you can get into the playoffs with hitting a bunch of home runs and scoring a bunch of runs, but when you get into the dance and you trying to get to that World Series, you need some lights out pitchers, man. And we got one guy, and shout out to Garrett Cole, just won the Cy Young award. Shout out to Anthony Volpe, just won a Gold Glove. You know, there's talent on this team. Don't get it twisted. But we, the New York Yankees, let's get back to those dominant pitching staffs that we had in the past, man, and let's get back to Yankees baseball. You know, so um, that's what I got on the Yankees. Not much going on with the Mets. Same rumors can apply with the Mets. It's like they fighting for the same players. The Mets are in on Yamamoto as well as Juan Soto
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else. So really not. Mets did get a new manager though. Um, what was this guy's name? Coach.
He used to play for Carl. Was it Carlos?
Well, he was the manager, Carlos Mendoza. Yeah, he was the manager of
Yeah.
the hitting coach of the Yankees. He's the new manager for the Mets. So shout out to him. Shout out to the Mets. Hope it works out for him. But
Yeah. I thought I took that on late. Mute.
yeah. Any anything on the Yankees, coach?
You pretty much hit it. I mean, getting Cole with the Cy Young. Same thing with the Japanese pitcher. I heard the same thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much that's about it. So haven't been following like I have in the past. Because some of it deals with, the way the organization is being run.
Mm-hmm.
And you say you're going to make changes, but then again, it's like no, not really. You just set it to, you know,
Right.
but you're going to look at your analytics, but realistically, you're not looking at analytics. You hire, the company yourself, so it's not really an outside entity because you're paying them. So
Yeah, facts, man. Big time facts, man. But yeah, man. Just with this Yankees team, man, they got to get back to it, man. Got to get back to being the Yankees, man. You know what I'm saying? Being those Bronx Bombers, man. But so we're gonna open this up right now. We didn't pretty much hit every team. Outside of Coach's Corner, we're going to do Coach's Corner here in just a little bit. We're about an hour and 20 minutes in. Probably go about 30 more minutes. But any questions in the chat on any of the teams? We can go Giants. We can go Jets, Knicks, Nets, Yankees, Mets. We'll kind of open it up here a little bit. One thing I will say, just to get back to the football, they just released Shaq Leonard from the Colts. So, he's on the market now. Pro Bowl linebacker, former teammate of Mr. Bobby Okereke. And he's got some money. And I think he passed through waivers because the money situation. But maybe you don't do it this year. I don't know. But, look, keep building up your team. Keep stacking talent. Keep building up that depth. You know what I mean? And shit, I take a 4-3 defense with Bobby O, McFadden, and freaking Leonard out there. Are you crazy? Hell yeah. With Tibbs and Brian Burns on the edge and Dexter Lawrence and Davison or Riley in the middle. Yeah, I take that. But fans of these teams, these Twitter fans, no, too much money, too much money. It's like you guys are in these owners' pockets more than they in their own pockets. Contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So forget the talent. It's about the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look, I'm with it. I don't think it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Think he'll probably sign with a contender for the remainder
Mm-hmm.
of this season. Try to get a ring and go to free agency next year. But if you could do it, why not? Build this defense
Mm-hmm.
out. Build this defense out. Give me a dominant defense so we can start there. We're close on defense, a whole lot closer than we are on offense. So we're close on defense. Keep building that defense out. We're gonna lose some pieces, maybe McKinney, you know, we'll see with Ojolari, Isaiah Simmons. But keep building that defense out. Keep building that defense out, man. And if you can pick up veterans that are pretty good, I know there's an injury history out in there, but yeah, I'll take them. I'll take them, man. I think that's fire right there. Um, Nimmer says, how many more games you think the Giants win? I think they beat Patriots. Probably. I'm kind of conflicted about that though, because I think Bill Belichick. That's gonna be a hell of a defensive game because Belichick is good against inexperienced quarterbacks, and Wink Martindale is good. That's a tough one for me, man. Yeah, man. That might be a game where you might, much like most of our games, Saquon Barkley might be that difference. So I could see them winning that game. Maybe they win one of the games against the Saints and the Packers. One of those two they'll probably win. That'll put them at 5, and I think it stops there. I think they finish out 5-12. So it's my prediction. What you think, Coach?
I mean, you're about right. I mean, the toss up. I mean, the Patriots, the Saints. I mean, you can say what you want. The Saints are still a toss up.
Yeah.
The Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of them winning anywhere between 4 and 6 games right now to close out the season. I don't expect them to beat Philly. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, I believe they don't play any teams with a winning record other than Philadelphia.
Yeah, they got two
So
games against Philly. They got one against
the
the
Saints,
Rams, one
hmm
against the Saints, one against the Patriots, one against the Packers. I don't think they're beating all four of them teams. I'm sorry.
no,
I know they're not.
no, no,
None of those teams are good, but they're not sweeping
no.
that schedule right there. I'm sorry. I can't. Everything I've seen from this Giants team, the same team that got smoked by the Raiders a couple weeks ago, I'm not buying that shit. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
They'll win a few more games, and I say a few. I mean two, maybe three. That's it. You damn sure
Which
ain't
will
beating
be
Philly.
right there where I just said, which will put
Yeah,
them between
finishing, yeah,
4 to 6 wins.
4-6. Yeah.
And, in terms of Jazz positioning, I think they're going to end up anywhere from 8 to 10, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. I could
That
see
either
them
will they
in
be
the
in the top 10 range?
the 5 to 10 range ish. I could see that.
If they
I
win
don't.
5 to 6 games, I don't. The Patriots are right now maybe 1, 2 games the rest of the season.
Do the Patriots play the Jets again? Because they'll beat them. They
I
always beat
believe so.
them.
Um,
They're like their Washington game for us.
yeah. So it's the Rams. They're the funny ones. I mean, they who did they just beat? It was Seattle.
I think so.
But I mean, you also have Aaron Donald over there, so with our offensive line, he could totally wreck it. But if he's not playing by then, because it's the second to the last game, then maybe there's that possibility. Same thing with Stafford. Will he be there? Will he be saying I'm done? So
Mm-hmm.
so it all depends. But honestly, if I really had to pick one number, I'm with you on 5 wins. They'll get two more.
Yeah, that's
And right now they're
that's.
in the fifth spot, and I think they'll end up somewhere around eight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it goes. And many in this New York fan base will be in total disarray and crying and saying, "I'm done with this
Oh,
shit. I'm done." Oh, you
I
just
just
saw it.
yo, god damn,
Uh-huh.
he yammed it
Uh,
on him.
exactly. Exactly.
Why
But
they
like I
let that
said,
dude go, bro? That's crazy.
so
Uh,
and what was I saying? Oh yeah, and some of this Giants fan base will be all over the place, screaming and crying, and
oh
I'm
yeah.
done, and I'm done with this, and
I can't get a
call me after the
quarterback.
season, and because they won a game, it's which is why I said what I said at the beginning. It's like this is their job. Like they want to listen to us and say, oh well, Coach Ed wants them to finish with the number one pick, so let's lose out all the
I think
games
that's
just
why they
because.
playing. I think that's why they playing better, coach. To be honest with you, because they hearing that noise from the fan base saying they tanking, they mailing it in, and I think they had some conversations. You seen conversations with him, Wink on the sideline. The players were involved in some of those conversations, and I think my speculation was
Yeah, I
Mayor
know.
and then probably was like, "Hey, buddy, need you to need you to start winning some games here, or I'm gonna have to make a move." All right, Mr.
Hey,
Mayor, go beat
hey,
Washington. You know what I'm
exactly. So,
saying? Gotta make it look good, man. But either way, like I said, if you pick first or you pick 32nd, you still gotta pick the right player. Still
basically,
gotta pick the right player. You know what I'm saying? Nothing
hmm
guaranteed. Ain't no shoe in bets. Ain't no generational quarterback in this draft. I'm sorry, it ain't. There's no Andrew Luck. There's no Peyton Manning. Even Trevor Lawrence a couple years ago. There's nobody in there like that.
hmm
All these quarterbacks have a skill set, strengths, and they have some weaknesses. So when I'm looking at it like that, I'm thinking there's no need to reach.
right bookends, no guarantees.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Is there's no need to reach for that quarterback. Just take the best player available for your franchise. Do
hmm
you know? Do you guys understand what Myles Garrett is doing for the Cleveland Browns right now?
mm
First overall pick.
mm
But you guys would have took a quarterback. Dummies.
mm
You would have.
mm. What's up, Alex?
He's literally in the MVP conversation. Yes, a defensive end. Best player in the
mm
league right now.
mm.
Got them at 7-3. Deshaun Watson ain't doing shit over there. Neither is PJ Walker or any other quarterback they throw out there. You know why they're good? Because they have a good team. They have a good running game. They have a good offensive line. They have a good defensive line. And they have solid coaching. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they're winning. They're not winning because they're fucking quarterback. But the quarterback that is in the division that got paid a whole bunch of money, guess where he's at? On IR, same place as Daniel Jones. Stop playing with me. I wish you guys would come up here and debate me on some real shit, on some genuine, not yelling at each other, debate type stuff. Because that goofy stuff y'all doing on Twitter is nonsense. Come over here and throw some real facts out here and watch I cook you. That quarterback stuff is nonsense, man. Straight
Mm-hmm.
nonsense. And I can prove 1,000 points and 1,000 examples to show you. Everybody wanted Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Who was the best quarterback in that draft? He went 30 seconds. Name was Lamar Jackson. Wasn't Josh Allen. It was Lamar Jackson.
Mm.
You guys would have took Sam Darnold and you'd be where the Jets at right now. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, man. Alex, what's good, man? What's good? Said I wouldn't trade up for Caleb or Drake, other quarterbacks in this draft, if they want one. Nah, I ain't trading up for no damn quarterback. You can stay right where you at and get a damn good player. That tackle from Notre Dame, he's going to be a good player. You see the guy from UCLA that was whooping up on your precious quarterback, Caleb Williams, over there? Whooping up on him. I don't know his name, number 15, coach. He got
I know.
a funny name.
He has a Polynesian name. I know what you mean.
Whooping up on him over there on that boy.
What's up, Tudo?
So
Paisan.
Don't get it twisted. It ain't about the quarterback. Do you know what another edge rusher would do to this defense? What? And they can actually sit back and get pressure with 4 and not blitz as much? What? Y'all ain't watching that though, right? I'm saying, how you think the Browns winning? How you think the Chiefs are able to beat the Eagles or compete with some of these other teams? They didn't beat them last night. I get it. Fluke play. But Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was punking them boys last night. Punking them. That dominant offensive line that the Eagles got, he was punking them. But you guys want a quarterback. Is a quarterback going to stop Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick? Is he? I'm just saying. Is a quarterback going to stop Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence?
Oh, yes, he will. Yes, he will. He'll get the ball out of his hands quick.
Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Quick, simple quarters, a stack of that deuce in a cover 2. That's a short read.
Yeah. It's going to be a short read for the defense, and they're going to pick his ass off and take it 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah,
Play games if you want to, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the AFC West. It's the NFC East. You better put your big boy pants on and go to battle in them trenches over here. And the only reason we whoop up on Washington is because of our defense. Every time we play them, Thibodeau goes off, or Dexter Lawrence goes off, or somebody else goes off. Every time. What's good? Oh, we got some hitters in the chat. What's good, Tudo? Appreciate you coming through, Paisano. That's right, man. Please subscribe to me, Coach, everyone else in the Big Blue crew, Wells, Big Blue in the Bronx. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. You. What's good, Coach Dave? What's up?
He said, I don't want anything to do with Drake May.
Yeah, I'm not entertaining no Drake May talk, or anybody else like that, man. All I'm saying is you don't have to reach, No,
definitely you don't.
You don't have to reach.
To be honest with you, you can probably trade back a spot or 2, maybe even 3, and get some more, pieces, and still probably get the player that you want because they'll probably drop. So and you look at the teams that are in dire need of quarterbacks. Those are going to push other quarterbacks up which will also push other talent down too. So, so you don't have to do anything right now with the way we're positioned. We're at 5 right now, so you're still in the mix. And I get most people want either they want May, they want Williams, or they want Marvin Harrison Jr. I get it. I get the theory and the thoughts behind all that, but
Mm,
sometimes it doesn't make sense to be what's the word I'm looking for? To be so emotional.
right.
I get so emotional, baby, every time I think of you. No, you don't have to be like that. No,
Right.
let's be practical. Let's think about it.
Mm,
It's, you know, take all the emotion out and look at it in a logical perspective. You know, and whatever player they draft, more than anything, it's coaching them up. It's coaching the
right.
players
Right.
up. That's what it is. Identifying do their talents fit what you are trying to do as a coach, and then coach them up, and then let them go out and perform. It's just to me, it's just that simple.
Hmm.
It's simple. So, you know, yeah, we
Yeah,
we uh, we
ain't
understand.
no yeah, we don't ain't no trading up, man. Like, come on. You trying to stockpile draft picks. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. We need talent. We need to
I
keep
would say
infusing
this.
talent into this roster.
As
The
crazy as some
more,
might
the
think this
better.
is, the more the more I will look at this, and I know some people. What, you crazy? If you're at 5, if you could trade back to 15 and pick up a draft pick, a first round draft pick next year, I'm sorry, I'm doing it. See, look at the draft board value. You know, Sauce even said it. The number one overall draft pick is worth 3,200 points. The number two is down to 2,400. When you get down to the bottom of the draft, they're at 500 points. So if you drop down from 10 spots, do you know that you can get a number one next year and maybe a number three? I
Hmm.
mean, and probably pick up a draft pick or two here this year, and you're adding on depth quality. I went through and I took a look and I broke down how many players do we need at each position. Whether they're starter or reserve. Like offensive line, I said you probably need. I said 3, but that's contingent upon Neil, whether you keep him at tackle or move him inside, whatever. But you definitely need at least 2. The backups, you need at least 2 or 3 there, 2 or 3 decent players there. And go
Hmm.
through every position. Running back, we have one running back signed next year, so you're going to need at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, we have 3 wide receivers, so you're going to need at least 3 wide receivers there.
Hmm.
We talked about the edge. You're probably going to need 1 to 2 edge rushers, an interior defensive lineman, cornerback,
Safety.
safety.
Hmm.
I mean, we no, I'm just saying, Coach Dave. I understand about not trading back to 15. What I'm saying
Hmm.
is, depending on how the board is going, really, that's what it is, and who's moving up, and where you have everyone positioned. Because if you think at 15 or 9 or 10 or 11, and you can get a first round draft pick the following year, that's the point I was saying, where you could have
Hmm.
2 draft picks. It even allows you with 2 draft picks next year to make certain moves if you want to move up in that draft.
Hmm.
So that's the point I'm saying. I'm not just talking about the
And that's the
players. Guess
thing
what?
too, coach. Think about it.
Hmm.
Me and you agree. Our favorite quarterback is Shador Sanders in
Yep.
this class, but he's probably not going to come out.
Not coming out.
If you don't take a quarterback this year and you stockpile your team and you get an extra draft pick, now you can start talking about trading up next season to go get a Shador Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have two
Hmm.
first round picks if that is
Hmm.
if that is available, if that is a possibility, or maybe some other quarterback is in the draft that you like. You know what I'm saying? So you have options. This is what I'm talking about: draft strategy. You
Exactly.
know, you don't blow your load, pause in one draft. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about future drafts ahead
That's
too.
It's also about building and constructing this team. It takes time. You got to acquire the players. I'm not trying to go through the free agency route and put so much money and invest too much money. If you're talking about, okay, one, two players who can come in, that you think are really worth it to really help this team as you continue to grow, fine. You know, I mean, right now it says we have what, $40 million, but there's things you can do to open up more money. We all know that. We don't even know what the
Mhm.
TV money that we're supposed to get is going to be. So
Yeah.
there are seven first round graded quarterbacks in this draft, three of which I really like. We need to get one of them this year. That's what you say. Then that's what they say as far as the grading, and I get it. But Jaden Daniels, you can probably get at the back end of the first or
Yeah.
into the second
If you
round.
can get Penix or Jaden Daniels
Penix,
in the second, I mean, I'm with it. I'm saying what
exactly.
I'm saying is don't reach. I'm not saying don't take a quarterback.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? I think they should take a quarterback, but I'm not reaching. I'm not just gonna take Drake May just because. Oh, we need a quarterback. Go get Drake
That's
May. Just trade
that's the
all our
thing
picks.
that,
Go up get Drake
and
May.
I'll
I'm no, I'm
always
not
say
doing
the
that.
same thing. I always say the same thing when it comes to Drake May and Caleb Williams. Why are they the end all be all? I know we aren't saying, you guys aren't saying that here. Coach
Mm-hmm.
Dave, I'm not saying you're saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying when people talk about it's only Caleb Williams and May. Why? Give me. I'm a football coach. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to look at it from a
Mm-hmm.
football perspective. You got to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why. Why do they fit the system? Don't talk to me about, oh, well, they can make the off talent, off shoulder plays and all this and that. No, 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 no. Number one, do they fit the system? Number two, what else do they do? Why are they far and away better than the other quarterbacks? I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
those two, as far as I've seen, their ability to process pre-snap is no way near Michael Penix. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. That boy
Mm.
can process that the hell
And
out of reading it.
think about what we all say about one
Mhm.
Daniel Jones. And I have been critical, despite what Twitter people think. I've been very critical of Daniel Jones and his slow processing ability. He doesn't see the field, read the field as fast as some other quarterbacks. Doesn't mean he's stupid. Doesn't mean he's a scrub or anything like that, or he can't get it done. I'm just saying, if you're talking about fast processing, and you want somebody that can hit it on a dime like that, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 get it out. What we saying about all these quarterbacks? Tyrod
Mhm.
Taylor, um, the boy the other day, Tommy DeVito. They all holding the football. You know what I'm saying? Way too long for my liking. So
Mhm.
that's my critique of the quarterback position as far as the New York Giants are concerned. So I don't want to bring in another guy that's slow processing, that can't, you know what I'm saying? That's going to hold the football like Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring him in. You're doing the same thing. You guys aren't understanding. You want a different quarterback, but you want a quarterback with the same skill set as the quarterback you got. You just want a different guy. That doesn't make no sense. Go get
Mhm.
a different quarterback. Go get a Jaden Daniels that can be like Lamar Jackson light. That's a different style of quarterback. Go get Michael Penix that can process like a Eli, or have the potential to process like a Eli or Brady or somebody like that. That's a different style of quarterback. You want a quarterback that can run around with a chicken with his head cut off. That's slow at processing and so on and so forth. You're getting the same guy. Then we
I'll
talked
say this.
about Drake May looks a lot like Daniel Jones when you break it down. But
Caleb Williams. Caleb
I don't know
Williams.
shit.
Okay. Here we can talk about like Caleb Williams, which is why I say that. What just happened to him when he played a stout defense in
Mm-hmm.
UCLA? A stout defense. They have the top D, or one of the top two or three defenses in all of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense isn't as complex as what he will see in the NFL. And what did he do? What did he do? it's a team sport. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I always start with the trenches and work my way out from there. So yeah, I believe
Facts.
quarterback is necessary. They're the brains of the offense.
Well, it's good. Yes, like an asshole. We all got one, bro.
So
Oh man, like
says
chasing the
send the
stock,
links. Who says send the
like chasing the stock when it's already up. Oh,
Yeah,
Coach Dave wants to link.
yeah.
Coach, man, I ain't really trying to be on here too long. I ain't trying to get into this Daniel Jones shit, man, tonight. To be honest with you, bro, I ain't trying to be
Mm,
mean or nothing, but I don't really want to. This is Heart of the
yeah.
City. We do this show. We try to spread the love between all the teams, and I do my best to not stay on the Giants too long. But we kind of in the freestyle session of the show, so
Hmm.
I'll let you
Yeah, I
come on
got it.
for a few minutes, man, and talk your shit, man. But it ain't gonna be no,
Long drawn out, no, because I
riffing
still
about
got
Daniel Jones and all that shit, man.
still
We
got
ain't doing that
coach's
shit.
corner too. So
Right.
I got stuff ready for it. So
Facts. We'll give you a 15 minutes, and then we're gonna do Coach's Corner. I'm getting the hell out of here. But yeah, like I said, man, it's just not reaching.
mm,
That's all it is. Not reaching, and and
okay.
and yeah, and the goulash.
Chicken
That's where you're
goulash.
gonna go. And they got me eating goulash. That Daniel Jones shit. Straight up, man. But we could talk
So
football. I like talking
yeah,
football. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Nah,
So that's
we
what
all
we do.
do. We all do. But
That's what we
as far
do.
as the Giant, that's my thing. I've been a proponent of you know if you can trade back and acquire assets because there's a lot of good talent, and it's not just the
Hmm.
quarterback. There's a wide receiver. We saw last night with with Patrick Mahomes. Put the ball right on that boy's hands for the
You dropped
touchdown
it.
right at the end of the game. He dropped. So you
Right.
still need the other players to produce. It's not just the quarterback. And I get quarterback is the brains,
Yep.
but
Hmm.
the other guys, they got to produce too. So
Yep.
what's up, Coach Dave? How are you, man?
What's going on,
Coach.
fellas? How was
Coach
everybody's
Dave, what's
day?
up, man?
All right, you ready for Thanksgiving, bro?
As ready as I'm gonna be, man. As ready as I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
Not really. I'm not really a big.
yeah, he's. I know that feeling, man. 'Cause that's how you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, man. I'm
Here we
just
go.
like,
I'm not really a big holiday person, honestly. That should just be stopping the money,
Yeah.
honestly. So
It's
I
another
just
day to me. I ain't even thinking
another
about
day.
look.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving to a big fat sexy guy like me is just my time to eat. That's my
Right.
favorite holiday because I get to eat. That's all it's about. Eating football, eating football.
Eating in football. All right.
Other than that,
Speaking of, who we got on the docket for Thanksgiving this year? I know
we
Dallas
got
and Washington
Dallas and
playing.
Washington is at 4:30. I think is it the Lions? It's the Lions and Packers.
Lions always play. Who do they play though?
Yeah, and then I forgot who's
I forgot who the
the
Lions
last year.
play. I just looked at that shit earlier. They play.
Yeah, yeah, they played the first game. So I probably won't be watching that because they got a high
Do they
school
play
game.
Washington? I think they might play
No,
Washington.
no, that's
Nah,
Dallas.
Dallas and Washington play.
Right, right,
Hold
right,
on,
right.
I'm looking it up now. Hold on a minute. But
Brutus, what's good? What's good with you, bro?
what's up, Brutus?
Is that Brutus from Twitter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
what's
it's
up,
on
man?
my it's
Salute.
from my it's from my link. I see it,
Oh,
and
okay,
I put it
okay.
on my.
All right, bet.
It
But you
can't
got
come
it,
back up my.
Coach. Coach
Go
Dave.
ahead.
Talk your talk. Talk your shit.
What was I gonna say, man? Yeah, you guys made some really good points, and I definitely agree with the whole not trading. I've been saying that for a minute, just because I feel like there's great value at the
Mhm.
position this year. We got, like I said, 7 dudes with first round grades, so there's really no need to move. If anything, like you said, move back. I'm totally against
Mhm.
moving back all that far because I feel like, yeah, it's about drafting and best value for the position. However, the quarterback is the engine of the car or the battery, whichever one you want. And we like desperately need that. Like we can't even play with it. Waiting next year's draft, if you really look forward to it, there's only gonna be 2 dudes that we know of right now who are gonna be highly ranked, which is Shador and Quinn Ewers. And Quinn Ewers needs work. He needs to clean up his act, but
Mhm. Mhm.
he's got a lot of big time plays in him, but he needs to just clean up because his tape is all over the place. You'll be amazed, and then you'll be like, well, what the fuck did you do that for? But his arm talent is probably the best out there, but that's neither here nor there. So to me, like I said, I think in the top 10, we can sit there and still get Jaden Daniels. We can move back, still get Jaden Daniels, but we talking about the Giants here, fellas. So my top 3, Penix, Williams, and Jaden Daniels, but who knows? The Giants might be thinking fucking Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix.
Reports are, and these are, rumors, Twitter rumors. Appreciate you, Brutus, man. If you don't, if you're not already subscribed, please like, share, subscribe to the show. My show and Coach's show, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports and Unpopular Opinion Sports. We are a team here, so appreciate you showing love. But to your point, Coach Dave, the rumors are right now that the Giants are heavily interested in May. Joe Shane went out there and he did a bunch of scouting on Drake May, and that's kind of what they've been saying. That's kind of their favorite. But one thing I noticed about this organization, this regime, I should say, right now, as far as the Shane and Dable ever, is they kind of keep their stuff close to the vest.
They do.
Yeah, they don't really leak out a lot of stuff like past regimes. So
yeah,
I would take that with a grain of salt.
Nah, for sure. Especially being that they've been to 5 of Caleb Williams' games this year. Joe Shane has been personally to 5 of his games.
Yeah, they've been heavily scouting May and Caleb this year, and who knows what other quarterbacks, man. But they're definitely interested in the quarterback position. So if I had to bet right now, I'd say first round, probably quarterback. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that shouldn't be your only option. It shouldn't be quarterback or die.
I don't think it's quarterback or die, and I think people are forgetting we got those 2 picks that we could get back in the first round with in the back end of the first round. So, but to your point, Coach, and I've been saying this all along, but I feel like it's been getting lost in translation, is we need to do something different. Eli, Daniel Jones, Drake May, that's all the same shit to me. From where I'm sitting, I see the same shit. I don't see anything dynamic. We are historically a boring-ass franchise, and being boring has gotten us nowhere in 10 years. Our record in the last 10 years is 60, 103, and 1. Daniel Jones's record is 22, 36, and 1. These are facts. We got to do something different. I saw a stat recently, a second ago. This is off the beaten path, but it just goes to show you, believe it or not, our receivers are 5th in the league in separation.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's fucking insane. The Giants receivers are 5th in the league in separation. Jalen Hyatt is open all the time.
I'm going to say this because I get that when they do those averages. The first thing I ask is who created that and who started it. Because if it's an Ivy Leaguer, let's just say for argument, who never played, all right, I get it. I'm not going to say they're not smart and they, but do they truly understand separation? And in the context of a play, do they understand that sometimes a guy might be a dummy guy to clear out something to set something up? And the other thing is, when do they become open in their eyes? Because if a quarterback looks one way and the defense rolls that way, but on the back end, that receiver, because of his position, looks open, but he's that dummy receiver that I'm talking about. Okay. Does that mean he's open? What sets up that they say to be he's an open? So if it's guys who play, or you have people who have played the game inclusive into that development, all right, I'm cool. I don't have a major issue. But there are some stats that, you're getting guys who are, just college guys who, they're statistic guys who just create the stuff, but do they understand playing the game? Because We all know, having played sports, sometimes it ain't really what you see. It
Right.
really isn't. So, and what is the context, or what is the play design, where, okay, because again, if a quarterback is looking this way, if his read is to his right, 1 2 3, but on the backside the number 5 guy is open, again, that's the number 5 guy. So he has a progression that he has to go to. He can't just say, okay, boom, I'm going this way, and let me turn around real quick to see if this guy is open, because they have this set up for me to go this way.
I think that
So,
I think that's a fair assessment, and I think I could see your point in saying I need more context to what's going on there. However,
mhm,
what doesn't need more context is what if you watch the film, Jaden Hyatt
exactly.
open. He's open, and he's not getting enough opportunities. Period.
No, I agree there are times that he is open, but we also know with the offensive line, because that's the thing. Yes, he may be open deep, but does our quarterback have the time to get him the ball? And they work hand in hand. And
It was
yes, there are
it was
times when, yes, our quarterbacks just missed a read. I am never going to sit here and say and make an excuse for that. There are times we miss it. Jalen Hyatt, he's supposed to be that deep end to
yeah.
make the DBs feel that speed and get them turning on their heels. But if we're not getting to them, then what are they going to do? Oh man, he's the decoy. Just let him go deep, whatever.
Mhm.
Don't go too far, because you might be able to come back down and make a play on the mid to the low tier level. So, but yeah, I get you. I
He's just
get you, Coach Dave.
not getting enough targets. Period. Like I
Yeah.
don't. Well,
So
that's a coaching thing. That's not even a quarterback.
yes,
It's like
exactly.
throw him the ball. Period. Full stop. End of. Throw him the
Yeah,
ball.
they do need to get Hyatt some more targets, but thing about it is too, the Giants really got to start to build out this team. You know what I'm saying? And I understand with the quarterback is a very important part of that. But you know, don't just go give me a quarterback and then you bringing back Hyatt, Wanda Robinson, and Slayton, and these same guys as receivers, and don't go get you a quarterback and then you got Glowinski and Evan Neal starting back over there at right guard and right tackle again next year. Don't do that and tell me that you've upgraded just because you went out and got a quarterback. And that's when I'm gonna come on here and really start talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we not gonna do that again. If you're going to build this team, build it the right way. Get your quarterback and put some pieces around that quarterback. Because if you don't, he's going to sink. He's going to
I
sink
feel
if he
like
has to deal with Evan Neal at right tackle and that disaster over there. He's going to sink. If you got Slayton as your number one receiver again next season, he's going to sink. You know what I'm saying? If they let Barkley walk in free agency and have a lesser running back at the tailback
Barkley.
position.
Barkley ain't going
You
nowhere.
know
Don't
what I'm saying?
do that.
You need to keep building his team out. You know what I'm saying? And not just go get a quarterback and then hey, we ready to go. Let's go win a Super Bowl. Get the hell
Barkley will,
out of here.
Barkley will be back next year on the franchise tag again because if he wasn't, they would have traded him already and got value for him.
I
They would-
think so too, but you never know. You know what I'm saying?
I just
They
don't
could
see
fall in love with one of these quarterbacks and do something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
a
trade
quarter.
Barkley and get an extra pick. Who
Nah.
knows? You know what I mean? I don't know. But what I'm saying is don't give me the same roster next year with somebody different at quarterback and
Well,
try to sell me that we going
yeah,
somewhere.
I think we got what 22 dudes who are basically coming off the books this year, pretty much. So I mean
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
Yes,
that's what
sir.
Coach
Yeah.
was talking about.
that part
Yes,
goes
sir.
without that part goes without say. I'm not worried about that part of the change. I think I honestly still believe in Shane and Dable. I think they understand. I felt like last year was pretty much fool's gold. And I looked at it the whole time and I was saying it, and everybody was calling me a Debbie Down. And I was just like, listen, we played a soft schedule, then we played a real schedule. Shit was looking different. We basically overachieved for the situation. We got all the bounces. Three teams from the division made the playoffs. It was just, luck was on our side. So it was just like I didn't feel like we ever was really that. It was nice making the playoffs, but I was just like, I don't want to make the playoffs 1 year and never go back for 4 years. I want us to build a team that's consistently making a run. And
Hmm.
I feel like everybody should. I just feel like as a
No,
lot of
I agree
people,
with that.
I feel like the
Absolutely.
Yeah,
fan
we
base,
can all agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like some of this shit be like happy go lucky, and it's like, to me, I'm not a fan police type of person. So when people are like, "Yo, I don't want to make the playoffs because that's not going to help us tomorrow," I'm with it. Like, but you have people who are like, "Well, why you should want to win every game, this and that," and I'm like, "But we got to face reality. Like, we are who we are right now. This shit, we should have."
Coach, I will say this. I get where you're going with that theory, but like for me, okay, and I'll say it all the time. I hate losing more than I love winning. That's just me, and it's been ingrained in me 40 plus years. So I get that thought when people say we should lose because that's a fan, but you talk about being real, okay? When you go into those locker rooms, those guys got families. They ain't trying to lose because they know their resume is what is put on film, and that's going to keep them in the NFL.
Yeah, they got to put up the tape.
Yeah, so I get where you're going. Now, what you're alluding to is management, getting certain players, and I get that little chess piece. But again, as a head coach, that's on my resume. Do you want to have that? I want to win as much as I can. Right now, my mindset is I'm trying to be 1-0 this week for New England. But if I'm looking at the big picture, I'm trying to win every last damn game that's on my schedule because that's me. I play to win the game, as Hearn will say. That's just a reality. I don't. I mean, I coach to win every game. I coach to win every game, and I get it. I get the fan perspective because you're looking at draft picks, but there's no guarantee with these draft picks. There's none.
There's no guarantee with anything, but here's the guarantee that the more we lose, the more we control our best destiny on we get who we.
But do you not? For me, when you talk about losing, it also establishes a culture. That's
Here's the thing. No.
I get where you're going, Coach. I do get where you're going because you're talking about positioning in the draft to get better value, to get better talent in the long run, because you believe that helps you set up the team with talent going forward.
Right.
But my point being is, no matter where you are, you're not going to hit up there. You're not going to hit at the bottom end. Just wherever you end up, it's up to the coaches to get the talent and to develop it.
No, it is up to the coaches, and I don't want you to think just to clean this up. I don't want the players to just go and lay down. I want the players to be competitive as possible at all times. However, I don't know if y'all notice or not. Well, not even notice, but I believe there's a fixed element to all of this shit because it's just too much money.
You sound like YG. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at you. My bro talks the same thing. Y'all talking the same talk right now. Y'all really are.
I'm not saying it's wrestling. Don't get me twisted.
He said the same damn thing.
It ain't WWF, but
y'all right now, y'all are like minds right now. Y'all are like minds. So go ahead.
I can't make sense of some of this shit, man. That's all I'm saying.
Stories, watch too much shit. I seen too many games. I put too many bets out there. I seen too much shit. Listen, this is off the beaten path, but from the time I watched the Portland Trailblazer game versus the Lakers, and I said, "Yo, this shit is fixed." And then 5-6 years later, it came out that the game was fixed. That was it. That was it for me.
But let me say this real quick, and then we're gonna move on because we about to wrap it up. Just real quick though, remember that year that the Giants played Washington and they ended up beating Washington and it hurt them because they lost out on Chase Young. Well, Chase Young just got traded from Washington to San Francisco. And guess who the Giants ended up with in that draft? Andrew freaking Thomas. So it's that's what I'm saying, Coach Dave. Don't go chasing that number one spot. You can still you can still win in the draft despite wherever you're picking.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Again, I told you wherever we land, we land. I'm not into trading for anybody, but I feel like if we end up in the top 10, we still could get Jaden Daniels. I'm good. That's what I want.
Yeah, it's a good chance to end up in the top 10. I mean, the odds are high, but if they don't,
I like Penix. I like them as well. I'm not gonna be mad at them, but I just feel like for what we got, we need something dynamic and just different. The fan base, we give us something to be excited about. Like we've had
winning. That's what excites me. Last year, I was excited because they was in the damn playoffs, man. I was up here talking Super Bowl with my crazy ass, but
It was
you
crazy.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll say this, Coach Dave. I'll say this
like
as my
winning,
last
bro.
thought, to what you just said, and I respect it. Where fans want, and that's this era. But I'm the type of coach. If we win 10-7 every damn game, is just ugly, and it's a
Right.
defensive type of game, and fans are pissed off. I paid all this money for this, but we go and win the damn Super Bowl, or we're going
Mhm.
far in the playoff, and we're scoring 10 points and giving up 7 a game. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good because it's about winning for me. I don't care if we win pretty or if we win ugly. I don't care. Just win. Go
Sounds
ahead,
good.
coach.
I'm gonna win this NFL. But before I go, I got one question for you guys. It's
Mhm.
college football related. So if let's just say Alabama beats Georgia and Texas
Mhm.
beats the table. I had an argument with a friend today. He's telling me that Alabama will then get the playoff spot and Alabama and Georgia will be in. But I'm telling him there's no way they could leapfrog Texas with Texas beating them at home. What do you think?
Okay. First, I mean, I get where you're going because in it, the committee they look at your full entire schedule and they rank the SEC overall is rated better than the Big 12, and I get the head to head. I
Yep.
get where you're going, and both of them be conference champions.
Home
But
game. Don't forget the home
yeah,
part.
no, I get that. I get that. I get that. But Georgia will probably still stay in. But the
Yeah.
biggest issue is what's going to happen with um, Florida State and Washington. Because Ohio State
Mhm.
and Michigan, the
They're-
loser's probably going to be out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just going to, and if Washington wins out and Florida State wins out and what you call it beats Georgia, more than likely Alabama is going to get in. And I know what you're saying. I get it. I get the head to head. And, but the committee's going to look at the whole totality, what fits, and they want to build a true national championship program, which is why this is headed to the 12 game system. That's really why, because
So
what you're saying is a legitimate argument. It really is a legitimate argument, and it makes sense because Texas did beat Alabama head to head, and they
at home.
should.
At home.
And yes, I get that. I get
Mhm.
that. But, Georgia, Alabama, if they beat Georgia, their biggest win will be bigger than Alabama's. To be honest with you, because they beat
Um,
Georgia and they'll
you mean
beat them in the SEC. They will beat them in the SEC championship, which
yeah.
gets more value, more points, more prestige, and that's really what it boils down to. College football is just so it's so sometimes, oh my gosh, it doesn't make sense. You beat them head to head, you should be ahead of them, but look at the rankings because that's what you got to look at right now. Look at the rankings. The college playoff football rankings has Alabama over Texas, so that tells you all you need to know.
No,
Texas win.
no, they don't. They have Texas
Wait a
7.
minute. Wait a minute. Texas is. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. You're right. Texas is
Texas,
7.
Texas is over Alabama. Texas's biggest win of the year was
It's
Alabama
Alabama.
bringing out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Biggest win of the year was Ole Miss 12. They played the same amount of ranked teams. The
I
biggest
forgot
difference,
about that.
yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the
Booking
ranking.
says
Okay.
if Georgia loses close, they'll probably get in anyway. But if Bama blows out Georgia, then they're out.
Ooh.
So here's the thing: do you think there's a world where Florida State, due to the fact that the quarterback is gone now, and let's just say they're squeaking by, do you think there's a world where they say, you know
Oh,
what, we can't fuck with y'all?
yes. If they're squeaking by, they
Yeah,
have to blow out Florida, and they have to
Gotta
really
beat
totally dominate Louisville. They
Louisville.
have to
Yeah,
dominate Louisville. If they're
ACC
squeaking
championship.
by, then they're going to sit there and say that quarterback is like we argue about the quarterback in the NFL. The
yeah.
quarterback is the biggest point the biggest point differential in college. So yeah, you make a valid point there. But no, I can see where they don't get in, and that's what I hate
What's
about
good, Miz?
college
What's up?
football because the SEC gets more cachet
They
than
should.
Mhm.
any other college,
They,
then followed by the Big Ten. Because I'll make the argument if Ohio State and Notre Dame are close and one loses by a late field goal at the last minute, do they really deserve to get kicked out? No.
you mean Ohio State, Michigan?
Yeah, Ohio State, Michigan. I'm sorry. It's the
Yeah.
same
So
argument
here's
with Georgia and Alabama.
The reason why I think only one team should possibly make it from that conference is I just don't think that's a strong conference this year like that. Like you figure,
No,
like
it's not. It's
it's
not. Yeah, I follow the
it's
Big Ten.
race. Then you got to think style points do play a part. Michigan ain't sexy, so it's just like I don't
But
know.
they're
Like
probably the most total. Yeah, they're not sexy, but they're the most total team. And then
so,
with the Harbaugh incident, that also
yeah,
hurts them.
yeah,
So
it hurts them. It hurts them because for whatever reason it's a scar. What I'm telling my boy and what I'm telling other people is like you can never rule out politics in this shit.
oh
And
no, 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 yes, 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 yes.
Texas got that money. So at the end of the day, I could see them saying, "Listen, you know what, Florida State, it ain't up, it ain't working. That's what we gonna do, y'all. All right,
It's
what?
like now you talked about style points. That's where that's where it matters most in college football. Florida State squeaks by. If they blow out Florida, and they let's just say they beat Louisville by 20 points or 15 or 20 points.
All right,
They're getting in. They're getting in because they'll be an undefeated. They'll be an undefeated top conference because the ACC is third in
right.
terms of the rating of the conferences. So you
So
do that, they're in. And Louisville is not a bad team. They're going to get good points.
and Florida's a good team too. So basically, let's just say we play it straight up. Let's just say Georgia loses to no, sorry. Let's just say
Alabama,
Georgia beats Alabama.
they're
So
in.
Georgia gets a spot. Let's just say Washington beats Oregon, which is going to be a very crazy game. They would get
They're
a
in.
spot.
Mhm.
So the next spot would go to the Big Ten, and then after that, it would be Texas if they went up.
Yeah, if Alabama loses, yes, because the way they have it set up, Oregon is right behind Washington. Because Washington now is four because they just released it. One is Georgia, two is Michigan, no Ohio State, three is
Michigan,
Michigan, and four is Washington because they jumped Florida State.
right,
Florida State is five, Oregon is six. So
right.
it's setting up. It's setting up for really the winner of the Pac-12 to pretty much get
Pac-12,
in.
Washington,
If Oregon wins,
Oregon.
Oregon is going to get in.
Even though they already lost to them, which is crazy.
Ryan, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming through, man. First time checking out the show. This is
Thank
Heart
you.
of the City. We do this every single Tuesday at 8:30. We was off last Tuesday, but every Tuesday, more than likely, we'll be here 8:30 p.m.
It's
Tuesday nights.
happening.
Please like, share, subscribe if you ain't already, and appreciate you tuning in, man. But
But hey,
we're going
I know we got to get to coach's
we're going to
corner
get on
already.
to
Yeah,
Coach's Corner.
nah, but
Coach
it's a good
Dave.
conversation with you guys, man. I feel like I'm uh the most misunderstood person out there right now with you.
Don't take it personal, bro.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
I
Trust
was
me,
there with you
coach.
too.
Coach, hey, wait a minute, coach,
Yeah.
coach. Listen to me. I've been told to my face, through this spectrum, that I don't know football. I don't know anything about football,
Me too.
and
Right,
Yeah.
I've been coaching since 1981. So trust me, at many different levels.
right.
So I've studied. I've gone to many different coach. I know this game of football. I know the X's and O's. I know the teachings. There's just other things that I don't believe. I mean, everyone has their opinion and their belief, and that's how I really honestly. So look, you're not misunderstood. You're not heavily agreed with.
You have an unpopular opinion, and that is why I named my show that Unpopular Opinion Sports. Because I came into this community with some very unpopular opinions, and I still
See
do.
this?
So,
See this
but
bullshit? Get off
And,
definitely
me.
appreciate
and
you
I got
coming
a
through,
tone about me that
Coach.
the people can't like understand, but it's all good.
Nah, you good, man. You can come through here anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, bro, you really throwing down, bro. You don't tell me you ain't ready for the holiday, bro. You ready for the
That,
holiday?
that was a great, bro. That was a great. All
Not
right,
mess with your teacher.
yeah, that's cool, man.
All
Y'all
right,
have a
Coach,
good one,
man.
man.
Salute, man. But we're gonna get into Coach's Corner right now, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget, once again, please like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to build this show up. We are trying to build up our YouTube channels. Me and Coach Ed, we got a lot of great things coming for you guys, man. So keep it locked here, man. And remember, when you come here, you could always spit your unpopular opinion, man. That's what we do over here, man. Heart of the City, man. Let's get into this Coach's Corner, man. I know Coach got something spicy cooking up for us today.
appreciate it, and it's good to be back in the coach's corner. I know I've been
Yes,
gone for a
sir.
minute, dealing with a lot of different
Salute.
things. So, but it's time to get back in. A lot of things going on. I'm going to start with Syracuse, and I'm going to start with Syracuse football. For those of you who don't know, Syracuse has been winding down after starting out undefeated, but right now they stand at 5-6 after starting the season 4-0. So they've been on a downswing, man. And they just fired their head coach, Dino Babers. He was fired on Sunday. He's been with the university 8 years. His overall record is 41-55 in those 8 years. So it's not a good look. Um, the interim head coach is going to be the tight end coach, Nunzio Campanelli. I know Nuns, his situation very well because he's from Jersey, was an outstanding high school coach. Actually, he was with Rutgers. And when they fired Chris Ash, he actually took over for a while until the end of the season before they brought in Shiano. And even at Rutgers, when they fired the offensive coordinator last year, Nunes stepped in and ran the offense, or did the best he could with what it was there. So, but overall, Dino Babers is out at Syracuse, so they'll be looking for a new coach, and um, it's sounding like it's going to be one of the sweet spots. Let's just put it like that. It's going to be an interesting position, because they do play in the ACC. Like I said, right now they're 1-6 in overall in conference play and 5-6 overall at the bottom end of the spectrum. But when you look at the ACC, there's going to be some changes next year. You're bringing in Cal and Stanford along with SMU, so there's going to be opportunities for them to improve. So a new coach coming in may like it. Your recruiting base is going to be very well, being that you're in the Northeast. So, right up here, New York, New Jersey, heading into the Boston area, competing with Boston College. But again, the whole footprint of the ACC, it allows you to get down into Florida, the Carolinas, to recruit some good talent. So now that it's opening up, I'm going to be intrigued to see the type of coaches that are interested in terms of um, Syracuse. So I'm looking right now at ESPN Plus to see where they're ranked in terms of position. And Northwestern is off the book. So Syracuse, in terms of the rankings of opening positions, right now, before Northwestern hired their coach, Syracuse is 5. So, but now they're going to go up to 4, and that's behind Mississippi State, which is in the SEC. We understand why. Michigan State, which is in the Big Ten. We understand why. And Texas A&M. Texas A&M is definitely number 1 overall. So, but again, Dino Babers is out at Syracuse, so that now opens it up as a good place in terms of coach. If he's going to go there to take over, and being that you're in the ACC, how you have an opportunity to capitalize and really grow the program back to the prominence that it was. Because when I was young, and then Syracuse coming into Jersey, it was one of the top programs. It's definitely in the country, if not in the East, and they've always had good talent coming out of Syracuse. So intrigued to see what happens there in terms of the football program. In terms of basketball, the basketball team right now with the new head coach is 3-2 overall in total play. They haven't done any conference play, so they're just right in the middle of the pack. But they've had some, interesting wins. New Hampshire, Canisius, Colgate, but they lost to Tennessee and Gonzaga, 2 big heavyweight programs, and they lost big. So, it's just a rebuild in terms of Syracuse. Jim Boeheim is not there anymore, but, again, I'm intrigued to see, how they do overall. As far as the women, looks like the women are 3-1, beating Lafayette, Central Connecticut, and Coppin State, but they lost a close one on Sunday to Maryland. So it's intriguing. Definitely, intrigued to see how things continue to transpire out in Syracuse. So As far as the Scarlet Knights, a lot of ups and downs going on with the Scarlet Knights in terms of the football program. The football program is started out the season, you all know, started 6-2, um, but then they ended up playing some heavyweights to close out the season. After they last won against Indiana 31-14, faced Ohio State, and was pretty much in the game for the whole time with Ohio State. They lost 35-16, but they were there. The next week they went to Iowa and did not put up a good performance offensively. They lost 22 to nothing, but they went into the fourth quarter down 6 to nothing. Iowa just wore it down and took over and won that game in the fourth quarter. And they didn't have good play overall. Last week against Penn State, another tough one. They lost 27-6, but they were pretty much in there for the most part. But until Penn State lost their starting quarterback, they brought in a different quarterback who was more of a runner and took over, and they lost the game. So overall, Rutgers is 6-5. They're tied for fourth place in the Big Ten East behind Michigan's, Ohio State, and Penn State, and they're tied with Maryland, both 3-5 in conference, 6-5 overall. Both are going to a bowl game, but right now it's a matter of which bowl game are they going to go to. They face each other on Saturday, which is going to be a big game in Piscataway, 3:30 on the Big Ten Network. So can Rutgers, their defense, continue to play? They play with everyone else for the most part until the last few games. Now, they do have some injuries. Guys are really nicked up, banged up. Even Kyle Monangai, their leading rusher, hasn't been playing well because he's banged up. That's one of the things. They're relying on Gavin Winsett a little bit more. His play at quarterback has been not as not as effective. There are moments he makes some great passes, but then there's moments you're left questioning. Some of it also, like against Penn State, the offensive line. Uh, he got hit with a blindside hit when he was trying to throw, which led to a fumble turnover where Penn State ended up scoring. So, but he's young. He's a redshirt sophomore. This is his first time really running the ship all season. So still growing, but come Saturday, it's closing it out. And then you have the playoff game in terms of, I'm sorry, not playoff, bowl game in terms of the football game. So football team. So I'm going to be watching to see what bowl game. Right now, most have them penciled into the Pinstripe Bowl, which is at Yankee Stadium. Ideally, a lot of Rutgers fans want them to go there. They don't want to go to Detroit, where there's the Quick Lane Bowl. Makes no sense, in terms of the fan base. But in New York, you probably would get a better turnout. Or if you went to Vegas, everybody wants to go to Vegas, so you're going to get a good turnout there. So, that's pretty much it in terms of, the men's football team. As far as the men's basketball team, right now they're 4-1 overall, in the middle of the pack. I mean, everyone, best teams are undefeated: Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue. But then everyone else, is right there at 4-1 overall. Illinois, Indiana, Northwestern. They just beat Howard on 85-63. And then on Sunday, this whole week they've been off because Rutgers always does that. They have, finals that they're prepping for, schoolwork that they have to prep for, the holiday. And then they come back on the 27th to play St. Peter's. They host St. Peter's before they go into what is being called the Big Three, where they host Illinois on December the 2nd, and then they go to Wake Forest, and then they go to Seton Hall. Seton Hall is a big rivalry for Rutgers here in New Jersey, so it's a big one. So, but right now, if Rutgers can come out of those 4 games 3-1, they're going to be on a good pace. If they're 2-2, it's like, okay, they're right in the middle of the pack, but they definitely have to. For me, they have to win 3 games to be definitely on a good upward trend. Now, as far as the women, right now they're 3-3 overall, but they just came off of a tough loss last night against Fairfield. They lost 78-54, but again, they're 3-3. They beat Monmouth and Wagner and St. Francis of Pennsylvania. but they lost to Auburn, Seton Hall, and Fairfield. And then when they lose big. So um, I'm a little bit concerned because in their seasonal stats, um, Kayleen Schmeichel, who was last year's leading scorer, is not this year. She's averaging about 12.9. The girl can ball. So, but they also have new players coming in. Last year they played with 8 players. This year they're up to 12. And they have their leading scorer for this season is Destiny Adams. She's about 15 points a game. So if we can get Colleen to really get back to her dominant play where she was averaging 19 to 20 points a game, I think the basketball team will be fine. Tomorrow, and I'm sorry, Friday and Saturday, they have some tough ones. They're taking on Texas Tech and Boise. They're neutral site games. I don't know exactly where they're going to be at, but Texas Tech and Boise are both undefeated. I believe they're both 5-0. So this is going to be a tough weekend for the ladies. They definitely got to step up and handle themselves in those games. So, uh, that's Rutgers. That's where it is. I'll be diving in a little bit later to more of the local teams. After the football season completely ends. With Seton Hall, St. John's. I'll be getting more information on there, and then I'm just following suit, waiting for the WNBA. The draft. The draft will be sometime next year. But right now the projections are the top players are going to be Caitlin Clark out of Iowa, Paige Buchers out of UConn, Cameron Brink out of Stanford. I've seen her play; she can play. Camila Cardoso from South Carolina, 6'7" senior, and the girl, ooh, Aaliyah Edwards and Rakia Jackson. Those are the three six I just wanted to touch on. But I'll be watching them. As far as the Liberty are going to be picking around 11. So that's pretty much where they're going to be in terms of the draft positioning. So pretty interesting situation in Syracuse. So I'll be continuing following. Rutgers were closing out the season in terms of football, getting ready to turn over into basketball. Oh, one other thing. That's what it was. I forgot. They put in the AD sent out to all the Rutgers fans, and those of you who are Rutgers fans, tap into Rutgers, pull up the AD. He sent out a little poll because they're trying to decide what alterations that they want to bring to the rack. They've talked about luxury seating. They talked about suites. And there's concerns about if you do making certain alterations, it might take away from the atmosphere because across the nation, everyone says the Jersey Mike Arena, also used to be known as the Rutgers Athletic Center, is the top, if not one of the top 2 or 3 stadiums that is difficult for the visitors to play in, and it is. If you've never been there, I strongly suggest you go to a game when the men play, even the women.
Which one is that?
Rutgers,
Oh,
the Rutgers Athletic Center, or now Jersey Mike's Arena. Um, we call it the trapezoid of terror. There's a grouping of us that call it that because if you look at the stadium, it does look like a trapezoid. It's small, it's compact, and I mean you're literally right there on the court. And sometimes when the games are good and Rutgers is doing well, the stadium shakes. It shakes. But there's concern with the new. They're putting out a poll to see what fans would be interested in. Some of it they like improving the bathrooms because there's always been a complaints about that in some concession stands. But there's some concerns about if you take some of the seating out, it might really change, the feel. Fans won't, the players won't be as intimidated. Maybe fans will be laid back a little bit more. So I just want everyone to tap in, just take a look at it. Some of it looks beautiful. I've seen it, looks great, but it also concerns me, takes away from, what I've been used to in terms of if, okay, I'm an old guy, I'm old school, I get it, and this is a new age. But tap in, take a look, join the poll, give your thoughts, and if you have an opportunity, go visit, one game at least, and just see how the atmosphere is right there in Piscataway. So that's what I have for you in Coach's Corner. Thanks everyone for listening. I really appreciate you guys. All right, NYG, you got it, bro.
Nah, fire stuff, bro. You was cooking, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that, man. With Rutgers, Rutgers is in the bowl game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse, not right.
Nope.
They ain't make it. Okay.
Well, let me rephrase it. Syracuse is 5-6. If they win, they're going to
Okay.
be in a bowl game.
And they playing who?
So, let me take a look. I closed out the football. I'll bring it back up. Hold on. Syracuse football schedule. Come on. Here we go. 5-6. They play Saturday. They host Wake Forest. So if they win,
That can be
they
Wake Forest.
yeah, they can beat Wake Forest. So if they win, they can go to a bowl game because they'll be 6-6 overall. What bowl game? I don't know. So that's what is. Oh, damn! I forgot to talk about tell what you call the Lions who they're playing. It's Thanksgiving, but all right, it's not important. But yeah, that's who they have. That's who they have. So it's going to be tough. Oh, and I forgot Syracuse. I have no idea.
Yes,
Sham.
it's Packers Lions. Thursday.
Oh, they play Chaminade. The Syracuse plays Chaminade on tomorrow at 9:30. Okay. Yeah.
Whoa, we got a game on Friday.
NFL. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Jets. The Jets are playing.
Oh shit, yo.
I think they
Damn.
play at 3 o'clock too, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, I might have to call that. I need to talk to Lou and him.
Yeah. See, I'm supposed to. I don't know because I might be. I'm just trying. It depends on my family. If everyone's over
Yeah,
here,
I
but
don't I don't do holidays, so
no, that's fine.
I
I was just saying with me because what you call it asked me if I wanted to do the Knicks game on Friday, but I
yeah,
said
I
I
might
can't.
do I might do the first Thanksgiving game, and then I might do that 3 o'clock game. I don't know. That's a funky time though to be calling a game.
Yeah, that's
3 p.m.
what no on Friday, but Friday.
Yeah, Friday
Oh, and it's
too.
on Prime Video too, and they're
Eh.
playing the
I
Jets.
mean, I
I mean
got
the
Prime,
Dolphins.
but yeah, I don't know. That's a funky
No, I got
time.
Prime. Okay, no, I'm with you too. That's why with me, I said I might watch it. And there's other college games that I think are on that day
Mm,
too. So
mm,
and that's
mm,
kind of like I do Thursday for the NFL, and
mm.
then the weekend, Friday, Saturday, I do for for college football. That's how I am because I know Friday night, if my family is good or they're not here, I'm probably going to stream the Oregon State game.
Ah, okay. That'd be a good one.
So that's a big game,
Mm,
especially Oregon
yep.
State just haven't played Washington.
Yeah,
So
they played them tough too.
yeah, so and it's a big rivalry, and with Oregon going to the Big Ten, that all of that is tied in. So that's why I was just
Yeah.
like, either my family gonna need to shut the hell up, leave me alone, and let me do what I need to do. So let me double check on. Let me see college football Saturday.
So yeah, we
Oh
gonna
damn! I got Mississippi State on Thursday.
mm,
They're playing the same time as the 49ers game.
uh the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah, they play at night in Mississippi State. And I said I do the NFL zone. And then on Friday, I got Miami BC at 12, Nebraska Iowa at 12, Oklahoma TCU at 12.
Mm.
You got Missouri Arkansas. Now Missouri's been playing good ball. They're playing at 4. Air Force BYU. Ooh, I don't know. Penn State, Michigan State, and then Oregon State's the last game. Oh, Texas also plays on. Friday. Oh, they play at 7:30. So that's what I mean. It's like, there's some good games coming on Friday for college. That's why I'm just like, I
Yeah.
don't know about the Jets.
Yeah, the goddamn Jets. I ain't wasting my time on them damn bombs. Now that I'm thinking about it, I ain't wasting my time on them bums, man. But we're gonna get on out of here, man. I don't know why you came in late, Raphael. But we about to shut down the stream, bro. So I mean, um, yeah, we'll let you
Yeah.
on some other time, man. But I gotta get out of here. So, but appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Appreciate, man. Pretty good turnout, man. We back in the building, of course. Heart of the city. Um, I do this with Coach every Tuesday night. And I got some things planned, to make this a little more interactive, make it a little more fun, and we'll have some guest appearances and different things like that, man. So y'all keep it locked here, man. Keep it locked here. Also, all your travel needs, go shout out Go Travels. Go Travels. GetOutTravels.com. That's GetOutTravels.com. GoTravels.com. If you want to pull up with the Big Blue Crew, man, to the Big Blue Crew block party, or if you want to come to the NFL draft, or if you want to go to the Super Bowl, or maybe you want to catch the NBA All-Star game, maybe you want to catch a Knicks game, maybe you want to catch a Nets game, I can help you with all that. We can help you with all that at Go Travels. Put together flight packages, hotel accommodations, event tickets, airport transfers, and much, much more. Just go to the website, links in the description, and click the link, and then fill out the contact form, man, and we'll get you started. We'll get you going. So, Go Travels. This is sponsored by Go Travels. This show. So definitely appreciate that. And Coach, tell them what you got going on, man, for the rest of this week.
Well, like I said, depending on family, because with the holidays, how it goes. I'm probably going to be streaming that Oregon State Oregon game on Friday, 8 o'clock. So just check in my channel, the list, pay attention. You'll get the notification, when I'm doing it. And then I was just looking at Saturday. I was kind of frustrated because Auburn, Alabama is at 3:30 the same time Rutgers in Maryland, so I won't be able to see that game. So
Yeah.
but I'll watch Ohio State and Michigan. Definitely tune in
That's gonna
for
be a
that.
good one. Yeah, Ohio
Yeah,
State, Michigan, man. When is Harbaugh back? He got one
after
more
the
game, right?
after yeah after the Ohio State game, then he does the playoff game. So.
Okay.
But I'm trying to decide. After Rutgers, should I do a game at 7 on?
You think Harbaugh makes that jump to the NFL coach?
No,
I don't think so.
no,
Think it's over.
no.
Think that ship then
I'm not gonna
sailed. Because
say.
they've
I'm
been
not gonna
talking
say.
about it a lot, like in recent years. You know what I
If
mean?
somebody gives him the money, anybody will go. But right now, because in college he has total control, and I think he wants to rebrand himself and get this off his neck in a sense. So I expect him to be here definitely next year to make a run. Now, again, it depends on the talent that's on the team. He'll know. If he thinks he's going to sink back into the abyss, with everyone else, and but again, you also got the new teams coming in, so that might be another intrigue too. So,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I think he's in college for a while. So,
Mm,
uh, Washington State's at 4.
interesting.
Damn.
All right.
But
Appreciate everybody for coming
that's
through.
that's about it. So um, keep an eye out. Coach Ed's reading attack will be back. Talking to Shadow World. So there's just he's been dealing with some things. I've been sick, so we're trying to get linked back up, and um, I'm in the process of working on stuff for me because I'm probably going to be releasing my own podcast. Definitely an hour a day. Just haven't decided if it's going to be 5 days a week or if it's going to be 6 days a week, but
Okay.
That's what I've been working on, and
All right.
I'm trying to work on a couple more sponsors for me. So,
That's what's up.
and that's what I got going on.
Hell
I
yeah,
told you
man.
I'm back. I told
Yo,
you.
that's it.
Yeah, I'm back on my grind. So, and I'm trying to
Definitely,
really take it
man.
up.
Definitely, man. We appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the Big Blue Crew Sports Entertainment Network, man. Big Pat Sports Talk. Big Blue in the Bronx. G Nation Inside
Mhm.
Sports. Classified 3F with Joe. Miz in the Midday. Hit Squad Productions. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Jay Wells, Adam, Mac, the Giants fan, Rodney. You know what I'm saying? Rodney. You know the list goes on and on, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my supporters. Shout out to the chat. You know, bookend tackles, Brutus. Best definitely see you. Appreciate you coming through, Brian. Appreciate you coming through. I like seeing the Twitter people come in here more. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we on Twitter a lot. Me, Coach, Pat. You know, so I appreciate
mhm.
y'all coming through, man, showing us the love as well, man. That's what's up, man. Miz, Bookends, Nemar. Appreciate all y'all coming through. Tudo. Of course, man. Big bro Tudo. Coach Dave, appreciate you coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? Being civil tonight on this show. It's all funny, love, though. Appreciate Coach Dave. Raphael, appreciate you too, man. Nimar and the whole gang, man. Appreciate everybody, man. But we gonna get on up out of here, man. Hit y'all with the sponsor commercial and then the outro, man. So till next time, y'all. Peace.
Shadow Worlds Radio, a radio media outlet. The Read and Attack Show, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Go Travels, the go-to for all your sporting events. Wise Consulting Solutions, the wise choice for a better future. The Big Blue Crew, the best damn sports network on YouTube.